Wait, Lily, you're so fucking cute. I love your sad cat. Thanks.
Aw.
All
Get the
right.
jar.
I love your pretty cat.
Fun fact: we're live now.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Fuck. No, I'm kidding.
All right, everybody. Welcome to.
Why am I crashing already?
Leslie, shut up. The show started.
We'll make it through this, I
God.
swear. All right, but welcome everybody to this week's episode of the FF14 Venues podcast. This week we are focused on bartenders in the scene. We've also got a lot of guests today, if you hadn't noticed. And we will be going through introducing everybody, letting them say a little something about themselves. But first, a reminder that the Mog Tome and the Little Ladies Day event is live. So if you're wanting to get those glams and other items from the events, be sure to go out there and do the content today. Working our way down the list, we'll go ahead and start with our newest host to the crew, Annie. You'd like to introduce yourself and everything.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited to be a part of this. I thought this was a pretty good idea from the beginning. I'm one of FFXIV's venue owners, so it's exciting to come on here and share some of my, opinions and things on how like venues have transformed over the years. I'm, I'm here to be here and it's exciting. So thanks for having me.
Of course, and we're
Do you
glad to
want to
have you as
introduce
well.
yourself to everybody?
Yeah, well, my name is Annie. Everyone knows me by Annie. Um, I'm currently on a character. It was just my alt. It's just called Nico Say. I own, I co-own a venue called the Tranquil Tiger. We started on Fairy, and now we have transitioned to the Dynamis world because that is now where everybody is going to. I've worked in venues for a bit now. Probably about 5 years it's been for working in venues now. Maybe 4, something like that. But it's been very different from like 3 years ago to now, and the whole venue scene has changed drastically. But thanks Squeenix for not being able to let us be on, certain servers. But I think we can make it work. It's been good, but
Oh, also, before I forget again, too, we are also over on Aether in Genova at the Tim Hortons. If anybody else wants to come out here and support a local venue, it's a small, safe for work little cafe. Really nice place.
It's offensively well done. Like you walk in and it's genuinely Tim Hortons.
Yep, Tim Hortons. All right. Next down, we've got Aurora, one of our other hosts. Oh,
Yes, hello. Sorry, I just had to cough. But yes, hello. I'm Aurora. I have been here a few times as a host and also as a guest in the first one. I own Florette. It's a library cafe that started out on Ether, but now we're on Dynamis, as everyone else, unfortunately. Um, and yeah, just happy to be here talking about bartenders. Yes, that noise as well.
thank you for the introduction as well. I'm always glad to have you here. Next, we've got a venue guest, Elias from Unholy.
I love how the host is just like, nah, I'm watching on the invisible TV. I love this dude. He's great.
He's chilling. He's living his best Tim Hortons life.
And then awkward silence. Oh, it would probably help if I hit that button. Sorry.
You know what? Forgiven.
All right, next we got Kuva in here.
Hi. So I am Kuva. As Ruina has covered here. I am currently working for Annie at Tranquil Tiger, and I have been doing a lot of bartending stuff on and off for the better part of like 5 years now. There have been some breaks here and there, and it's not always the same intensity. Like when I first started, I was piling on as many jobs as I could to the point where I was like, oh yeah, I have a night open, so I can pick up like a third gig. I'm a little bit more relaxed with how much I've been working lately, but I have sort of over the past few months been picking up a few more jobs here and there. So now I'm here.
Workaholic.
Not anymore. I honestly like it was so exciting when it first started that I was like, I just like if I'm not bartending for a night, I just think to myself, well, where's another place I can work? And the places that
You
I
just
were
short circuit.
Huh?
You just short circuit if you're not working somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, I literally was just like, well, I don't know, like the fucking social interaction of it all, and the just like talking to a bunch of these weird, crazy role player people has been really fun. I didn't really do any like proper role play things before someone was like, "Hey, you should like a friend of mine literally just asked me to work at their place, and I was like, okay. And the first proper gig that I had, I worked like for months, like figuring out. Like I didn't when I first started, I didn't know what /em was. Um, and then within a few months, I was working at places that were like the first time I'd ever seen like a large like capped out and there was a line outside. Like it was a very interesting um transition from working in like a really quiet place and then getting picked up by some pretty big people and working in really big places. So yeah, it's been an
Oh,
interesting
I
time.
missed that. The lines outside venues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially those popular ones, you'd see lines going all the way out around the corner and stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Wild days.
Uva, I think you do fine with RPing. I mean, I will agree though, when I first started, I did not know what /EM was. But
Yeah.
when I was in the venue scene, Mare was not as big. Well, I don't think we could
Yeah.
say that, but I don't know if we could say that. But those things were not as big.
We need to check the PR department and see if that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't stand for it. No, I would never encourage the use of third party software in such an amazingly graphical game such as this.
Yes, the podcast does not endorse third party plugins.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I'm putting my foot down on that.
Agree.
But yeah, like I took like a year-long break and then came back, and that's what a lot of people, present company excluded, were doing, and that was a big shakeup. But yeah, like my first like 2 years, it was just all it was a lot more. Actually, wait, hold on. How long are we going to talk about me?
Yeah. We should probably move on. We still got to get to all the questions and everything.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. Next, we have the one and only Kana from the FFXIV venues.
Don't introduce me like that. That's so much pressure.
I mean, okay, sorry. We got this random cat called Kana.
Yeah, that's much better. I like that.
Random cat is how
everyone.
I know her.
I am Hannah. I look after the Final Fantasy XIV venues website. Pretty much it.
Thank you for that powerful introduction, Kana.
You're welcome. I've been practicing it all day.
She came
Oh God, I
prepared.
really do talk a lot.
All right, next we have Lily or Lilybit.
Yeah. Hi. I've been doing venues for like 4 years. I've never worked like a nightclub. Usually pretty heavy roleplay venues. I kind of stopped working them now and just opened my own thing. Uh, it's Maison Charnel, but if you
Congrats.
can't speak French, it's just Cardinal House. That's about it.
Of
That
course,
sounds really cute.
it
It is
is.
a art studio, artist lounge, and a regular lounge. We encourage people to come in and draw and RP, and model on our stages for our artists.
I've always wanted to try to model. I bet I would be very good at it.
I love modeling. I want to go, Vernon. Taking a note.
Oh no, yeah, Connor's gonna show up and it's gonna be a disaster probably, but you
The
know.
one thing I like doing in FF is like photography and art and modeling for it. So
Oh,
I'm definitely putting that on my list.
well, you're definitely gonna love April then, since that's gonna be heavily focused on art.
Oh, it's gonna be so exciting.
Yeah, everybody's super excited about that one. Next up, we have Lori Lay, right? I think I said that right.
Lorelai, close enough.
Lorelai, yeah.
So I'm Lorelai. I'm here representing Ayun. I work as a bartender, but I also work with Lilibet at I can't say it in French, but it's Carnal House. I work as an artist slash also starting to work as a bartender there. But yeah, I'm with Ayun. I've been bartending for it's been about 6 months, I think, since I first started. But Ayun just opened recently, so I've only been there for I want to say it's 2 months now, month and a half, 2 months.
This is a pretty good time.
Lorelai and I are actually working on a bar menu on a theme for the podcast today. We tried doing the open bar thing. People are just confused. So I gotta work on that later, but yeah.
It's a pretty interesting idea. I'll have to check that out later for sure. And next up, we have one of our other hosts that's been here since like the first episode as well. Oh, actually, I think all the hosts have been here since the first episode. Okay, well, it's Plushy.
Hello. Oh God. I never really know what to say in these things, but hi. I'm the owner and housing crackhead behind Afterglow Bathhouse. We are more or less an immersive event bathhouse that is really focused on individuality and your personal desires and things like that. And we kind of strive to create this like sensual space through really heavily indulgent atmospheres, very RP heavy, really creative community events, and just intimate personal connection in the late degen hours in the moonlight, whole 9 yards and things like that. I am just so excited to be able to meet other venue owners and just hear about what experiences are like across the board. It's probably one of my favorite things about being on a podcast like this and just being able to talk with everyone. Despite not having a bar personally, we have had Kuba uh, stand in for our Candy Cane Cafe in our winter build when we had our winter village. And man just walks up and just employs himself. It's wonderful. Kuba's great. But I'm just really excited to meet people and get to know a little bit more about your backstories and what your experience has been like in the venue sphere. It's one of my favorite aspects of this game.
Well, we're certainly going to be getting a lot of backstories today with our little episode we got planned. Going to be a wild day. And finally, we have. Okay, I don't know how to say your name. I don't want to mess this up.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
we're talking about me. I'm Elias Uday. I am a bartender, well, bar manager now for Unholy. Um, and I have been in this scene for 5 or 6 years. I was in retirement and got pulled out of retirement about 6 months ago to work at a couple of venues.
Well, that's pretty nice. It's always good to see more people that's been around for a while. And it seems like I'm also dumb because I skipped you along the way. And I was talking about Ukyo.
Me? Ukyo?
Yeah.
You can say
Yeah.
it however you want. Yeah, I'm Ukyo. I'm representing Four Fiends Resort and Casino. We do lots of gambling there, and I work as bartender. I've been doing bartending for about 4 months now. I started Final Fantasy back in peak COVID era, and then took a really long break, but came back for the RP aspect and made my money through RP in order to get gear for raids. That's what I do.
So what I'm hearing is that you're the chief enabler.
All right. And again, for those that are just now joining us, the current guest and everything we have today is Afterglow, Floret, FFXIV Venues, Ioun, the Carnal House, Tranquil Tiger, Four Fiends, and Unholy. So if you're interested in any of these venues, you can check them out in our Discord on our advertisement pages or any of the other advertisement pages across Discord. And with introductions out of the way, we can go ahead and start with some questions, and I will let some of the other hosts, ask a couple of the questions starting out here, if y'all would like to take over.
You know what? Let me start off because I'm very, very, very nosy. But I know that we kind of covered a bit of this in the introduction. Some of you told us how long you've been in the venue sphere, but do you enjoy the work from a venue staff position? Have you worked other positions leading into being a bartender? Were you hired directly into a bartender? And how long have you kind of been in the position? I guess we can just start immediately to my left here. So, Lily.
Um, my first job was at Fairy Tale Lounge, about 3 years ago. I was a dancer, but all my friends were bartenders in the scene. Um, it's not my first choice because I think the definitive thing about bartending is that you will be talked to, and that can be very daunting for someone who's new. But they got me behind the bar counter anyways. And I just keep finding myself back there. Um, it's so busy. People always need help. When someone walks into a venue, the first place they go is the bar usually. I don't know. It's a lot. I can't stop myself from getting from behind the bar, even if I'm doing something else. And I don't think it's my favorite, but it's pretty fun. It's a good position if you like talking to people.
Wait, you said you worked at Fairy Tale?
Yeah,
3 years,
way
like
back when.
under Saria, right?
Yeah,
Did we work together?
probably.
Oh shit.
No, because I did a couple days bartending there before they did a big rework, and they put me on Casino for a little bit from there.
I don't remember a casino, but
Huh.
I was
No,
Lily Lee back in the day. I changed my in-game name since then.
oh wow, I think I might have just missed you then. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I feel like it's a good way to start in the venue scene as a bartender. I know like people come to you and you have to talk and it can be daunting, but I think it's a good transition for people to get in and understand role playing because bartending is pretty cut and dry. You're making a drink and you can make it however you want, but I think it's a really good way to start. And you know it's a good way to meet people, network, and get yourself out there even as a bartender.
So that's why I started bartending, is because I was like, oh, people will just come and talk to me. Neat.
Yeah,
Have to do
that's how
anything.
I started. I started as a bartender too.
My other first job, my actual first job that I was actually talking to people in, because I was kind of avoidant as a dancer, which you shouldn't do technically, was reception. I don't really see that now, but that's another good one for talking to people. People always need your help, and all the information's kind of there, so it's pretty easy to just plug it in and talk to the people who are coming up to you and helping them out. I think it's another good way to start.
Yeah. Ukyo, what's your experience been?
I've been working venues going on 2 years now, roughly. My first gig was a place on Sarg called the Crystal Estate. I started off as a safe for work pillow, I believe was the term. Then eventually moved up to dancer, and from there eventually moved up to manager. I took a couple other gigs here and there. Eventually found my way to Four Fiends, where I started as dancer and now work as bartending. But I've done all positions in venues: greeter, manager, bartending, or dancer, and hello. I've done just about everything. I like talking to people. I like seeing how they play their characters, and it can be pretty fun.
That is so fair. Holy shit, you've really taken the tour of all the positions. That gives you
Never,
so much insight into how things get run. Oh my god.
yeah, never hurt to see how everything runs. I mean, I've had to manage people. I used to give out stock, give out pay. I would tell people when to come on, when to do an announcement. I've done greeting, would greet people in and out of places. Would Bartending has been so far kind of my favorite because I get to just talk, and not everything has to be like, how to explain it, awkward. A lot of people are very awkward when you walk up to them out of nowhere, so it's not as awkward when they walk up to you because they already know what they want to talk about. And also I've done dancing for DJs. It's been pretty fun. I've done a lot of things. I've been through the works. It's been pretty fun.
Ironically, when I first started out in venues, I was a bartender and an owner, at the same time, and a greeter, all at the same time.
Dude, I did greeting and managing at the same time.
Good times, good times.
Kuba, you kind of touched a little bit on what your experience has been, but let me hear from you. What is your full venue backstory look like here?
I did nothing but bartend for a really long time. It wasn't until I worked at Fairy Tale that Saria was looking for new people to take over the casino. I don't know why that word was fucking escaping me, but looking for someone to just take over casino. And I basically would bartend unless the casino dealer wasn't there, and then I would fill in. So that was kind of like the only real deviation that I had. I ended up working another place a while later, Apollo nightclub, and basically the same deal there is they always had enough dancers, but none of them really did casino stuff. And I was a lot of the time the only bartender there. And if there was another bartender, they'd have to leave early or some sort of thing like that. So I was kind of holding it down there too. But again, the same thing is like, if we ever had two bartenders, there was a good shot that they didn't have a person for casino, so I would get moved over there too. And basically, I would just be like, I didn't have like a huge like array of games for people to be playing. I would just kind of fill in and play blackjack. But it was usually pretty fun. Just kind of kept the hype going. Like you'd make fun of people for losing, and then like fall over and die whenever I lost. Like it's a lot of the people there are really just kind of looking for just something fun to be happening. So if you just just kind of shoot the shit with people who are there to gamble, lose, maybe win something, then they're just kind of content. And I think the same thing goes for bartending, where a lot of the time it's like the actual thing you're role playing is almost like a formality in a way, where the real thing that you're doing is you're just looking for that interaction with people. So as long as you can interact well, I feel like, and you just know the basic rules of a card game to play, I think bartending actually kind of shifts over pretty well to something like casino.
Speaking of casino, tune in March 22nd for the Gamblers episode. But yeah, a lot of that does translate over, I think, between the two.
Mhm.
Is there anybody else we haven't heard from yet?
I haven't gone yet.
Elias.
So I've been playing Final Fantasy for 10 years, and my very first experience going to a venue was on Balmung about 8 years ago. And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to go back to venues afterwards. And it wasn't until about 6 months ago when someone entered an art stream I was doing and was like, "You should come check it out." And I was like, "I don't know, maybe." Um, and I actually went and I was like, "Okay, this isn't as crazy as it used to be." And that's when I really started getting into it. And I essentially just jumped right into um, bartending for the most part. Like I was there for like a week, and then I was like, "I can do that. That sounds like fun." And I've just been there ever since because it's just been like a lot of. I've met a lot of really cool people doing it.
I feel like a bombong venue. That's a lot for somebody going first time.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
started on hard mode.
They're kind of
Yeah,
wild. Yeah,
No,
those are kind of wild.
I
Balmain venues are so chill. I do not
don't know.
understand.
They
Okay,
really are.
I don't know if it's different now. I haven't been back in a long time, but 8 years
Mhm.
ago, I don't think it was. Basically, there was just a lot of open ERP.
Oh
There
yeah.
still is.
Yeah, and
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
There's
and I was baby like 10 years ago. I was like, I don't know. So I'm like now I'm older and I don't care, but back then it was a lot.
Wait, people just do that?
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
Wow.
Wow.
Wild.
The reality sinking in.
In my Christian RP server? Confusion?
But
But it's crazy that you have a history going 8 years back. That's really, really wild.
One time 8 years ago, but yeah. Honestly, I couldn't
It
tell
took
you
a
like the name of
7.5
it
year
or anything.
hiatus.
Yeah, it's fine.
She needed a break after that one.
I can't even blame y'all. So, just to kind of get a general icebreaker out there, this is like my favorite question that I've been dying to ask every single person in here. Who's the most memorable person you've ever met in your time of bartending? Because I know some of y'all got some wild stories.
Hercule Satan,
Lily,
there's a
hit me
guy
with
who
somebody
comes.
wild.
The robot.
Just no
The
context. Just
robot.
robot.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it. Next question. No.
oh my god.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw him, he showed up and he asked for battery acid. And that it was a menu item I'd been arguing we should have for just an occasion for a while, but my manager didn't see the merit of it. So I basically just had to kind of go into this little like impromptu RP of like making something akin to whatever the fuck he was talking about. It essentially ended up with me mixing like some industrial cleaners and throwing a few I used an earth shard and a lightning shard, threw them into a mixer and shook them up real good, and he seemed to like it. From then on, he had a software update where the only word he could say was egg, and he didn't seem interested in battery acid anymore. He just kind of wanted to deliver eggs to most people. But yeah, he was dressed up in the full Allegan like tank set, so he really did look just like this android walking in delivering, delivering eggs to
Eggbot.
people. Eggbot, yeah. He was a good guy.
I heard somebody else say something just before Robot. I want to hear that story too.
Oh, that was that was big. So if y'all know the famous show Dragon Ball Z, the character
Mhm.
Hercule, I had some guy walk in cosplaying Hercule. He would throw money around like the Gil throw emote. He would throw money around and just be type. He typed in all caps. It was hilarious. I loved him. He was great. He had like the afro, the dark skin. He was a little short midlander. Perfect. It was
Nice.
amazing. It was just straight up Hercule, and I was laughing my ass off the entire time.
There is a
Oh,
certain skill that you need to have to play an obnoxious character. Like if
Yeah,
you come
there is.
in like spamming emotes and like it's one of those things where it's like it's very easy to overdo, but like if you can like manage it well enough, people will be excited every single time you come in.
I
Um,
love seeing him. Anytime he would come in, I love seeing him. He was just like the highlight of the shift.
the local legend.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, hey, that's being the local legend is it's a good way of getting hired eventually too, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Plushy. Wink wink.
Oh my god.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Listen, he got hired based on I based on unfathomable fish puns and just the back and forth of trading unhinged fish.
Yeah. It was
Freaking incredible.
I was very happy to see Plushy's venue, and I was a fucking shy, awkward idiot who was going through a terrible time in my life, and I didn't know how to just say that to her. So I was like, "Here's a fish," and then every time that I came back, I would just have something interesting to share.
And then we looked at him and said, "We can make him worse."
They're still trying. I have gotten worse, just not in the ways that they wanted me to be.
Speaking of creative people though, Lorelai, what kind of people have you met out in the world?
I don't have any really funny stories. I have made a lot of really good friends bartending though. We have a lot of regulars who come back, and now we all just kind of hang out outside of the venue too.
Do you have an
Yep.
iconic regular you want to shout out?
Only if Tara is watching. Tara's been
Tara.
here for since for a while now. Just keeps coming back to hang out and talk to me at the bar, which is so appreciated. Because my very first venue, the bar was on the first floor, and I didn't have, and everything was downstairs. So I didn't have a lot of people to talk to. Um,
Hmm.
so ever since, I'm so appreciative of people who actually come up to talk to bartenders. So it's always nice if people are hanging out.
So the bar was
Aw.
separated from the venue?
Yeah, it was like a nightclub, and the dance floor was downstairs. So upstairs was just the bar and the greeter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the greeter upstairs?
hmm
I've
So
known a few old school venues that actually used to do that.
yeah,
I
it was in a small or a medium, so I think it was just to preserve space downstairs, but it made it
Mm.
a
that
little
Okay.
makes
bit more
sense.
inaccessible. Nobody wants to leave where the party is to go upstairs to get a drink.
Yeah. I mean, with when designing and planning venues, um, our thought process was bringing, the bar should be an aspect of the venue on the main floor. It shouldn't be separated. And I think that makes it more clean and streamlined for people to see it. And, it also includes, bartenders. Sometimes bartenders are like, not like forgotten, but, some people don't think of them as like a main attraction to a venue because not many venues have bars as well.
Yeah, I like talking to people though. So if you ever go and you're like, I don't know, please come talk to me. I'm very friendly, I promise.
I've only bitten
Oh,
people like 3 times, but I promise I'm friendly, you know?
I mean, maybe they like being bitten. It's not a service
True.
I offer, but I'm just saying.
In
Hey,
this
Lorelai,
economy,
where
yeah.
do you work again?
For free? True.
I work at Ioun. I'm very chaotic when I'm on the bar though. Just a heads up and a warning. It's fun.
It brings the sparkle and like the little extra flavor. I love walking in, seeing like bartenders like fucking around with people, having fun like that. It honestly just brings so much pull to the bar and it lets people know on like a big megaphone platform, like, I am fun. Please come say hi to me. We will have a good time. Like, I just love seeing that.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
Yep, so you can go to Ion for some chaos and probably bid at the bar. Good times. Had to schedule that into my planner.
Lily, do you have any iconic people that you've met over the years?
There's one that comes to mind. It was one of the first venues I worked where I met my manager, Altea. Shout out Altea. Whole. Anyways, there's a guy named Pete. He come into Radiance back in the day. This was before any third-party plugins. He was kind of the cryptid because he'd come in a bridesmaid dress and a chocobo head, and no one had ever seen his face. Uh, that was the big thing. You couldn't just remove it with glamour. He was the chocobo head, and he'd hire record stop tea parties in the private rooms. I'm pretty sure Altea has seen his face, and in the genuine sense, not removed. Like he revealed his face to her. It was great.
I think I know who you're talking about. I haven't. What was his name again?
I think it was like Pete.
Pete. Yeah, I remember he would just come in and say wholesome shit to people. Like he would just walk
He was
in
great.
and be like, "You are loved by the people around you, and you're worth being here," and then just like scurry off.
I have never met someone quite like Pete since then.
Oh, that's the best.
You know what the nice part about that is that with messaging like that, any of us can like kind of take up that mantle and be that person in any venues. That's really nice to see.
Oh, that is so nice to see. I did meet someone though when I was bartending. I can't remember his name because this was like 4 years ago, but he was like my main client that would just come in, like find you and just sit in front of you, and we would talk like the whole night. And he was this big Rogadin guy, and we became friends afterwards. But now he's kind of like one of those people that unfortunately you just kind of lose contact with after so many years, and now you can't find their Discord and stuff like that. But he reminds me of the Chocobo slash bridesmaid dress person. Just
Mhm.
comes in and says the most wholesome things and like would just throw Gil at you and just be like, "You're so great, I love you, and here you go. Here's more money. Here's more money."
That's certainly one way to make some money. Be wholesome.
Aw.
Yeah, just be fun to talk to. People fucking throw Gil at you sometimes.
I'll throw Gil at you, Kuva. Don't worry.
No, you won't. You would never. I don't believe you for a second.
I have a whole featured content skit about throwing Gil at people.
Oh, well, I guess since we've kind of reminisced about all the places we've been going into this, I want to hear a little bit about what you bring to the role, really. Like, what do you typically do as a bartender? What kind of personal flair do you add to it? Like the little things that keep people coming back, or something iconic to you? Maybe a drink that you've made that's just your iconic staple. Like, tell me a little bit about what you guys do as a bartender. I don't have a bar at Afterglow, so like I'm genuinely curious to like hear the other side of this.
Well, I mean, you saw me at Afterglow one time when I just manned the cafe. It's it's I like the being spontaneous with a lot of different bartending things is really fun. It's nice when you can kind of just have like the freedom to go off script a little bit, which I when I got back there, I remember thinking to myself, you know what? If she tells me to leave, I'm just gonna like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm just like, I'm RPing me. But like at the same time, I had the feeling that you would appreciate it, so I just got back there and just started like like someone came up and was like, "What do you got?" And I was like, "Would you like hot chocolate?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I got into like these really like personalized orders with it, where it was like whipped cream, how much whipped cream, marshmallows, how many, how big, like would you like these sprinkles, would you like syrup on it, and that sort of thing. And people noticed like in the detail of the RP prompts that I was doing, like the specific little things that I was adding, like just really carefully going along with the order. And people kept coming up and were like asking for their specific things and like their own little preferences, because they were like, well, I like this on hot chocolate, maybe I'll just go. And then I would just essentially just, you know, the bartender bring it to life in text thing. And it's just catering to people who have like it's one thing to order a drink that you see that you like and see someone like add in all these ingredients in like some flowery way, but it's another thing when people can be like, these are the 5 things I want in my hot chocolate, and then seeing you do that for them. I think one thing that definitely keeps bringing people back is when you can really cater to someone specifically. Yeah, I think people really like when you're
Do
just
you have like
specifically on them.
do you have a drink that you made that's like just something iconic that you just freaking think about later on?
Oh yeah, that would be the booba tea from Visions. It started, there
Like
was
straight up booba tea.
yeah, well, I mean, they called it at first. The owner called it breast milk boba tea, and I'm like, just add another O to boba, and you're fucking golden. And now it's an official menu item because of it basically just starting out as a meme. There was a girl who climbed behind the counter and was pretending to have a breast pump on, and someone was like, "Oh my god, get me breast milk! I want to order breast milk." And now it's an official staple item that we have, where it's like a just like a normal like tea in it, but then it's like, wait a minute, you're like going through the ingredients and you're like, wait a minute, breast milk? It's like, yeah, that's a thing we do now.
Oh god, don't even remind me of
I don't
breast
know how
milk.
I
Sponsored
feel
by
about
Blizzard
that.
employees, by the way.
Oh, really
Never
bad.
letting that go.
Really bad.
Wait, what's that push?
Sponsored by Blizzard employees.
Oh. Yeah, no, honestly, the Blizzard was a runner-up name that we could have named it, but oh god,
I don't know how I
like
feel
butter.
about that,
No?
especially. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean,
Well, a lot of people
That's
like the
awful.
idea.
I'll take 5.
And what happened was, like, there was a bunch of giggling degenerates in there who were like, hee hee, breast milk. And then I talked to the girl and I was like, hey, would you be fine with me doing like an RP prompt of actually like, and she agreed to it.
what do you mean, I don't know what you mean.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a fun fact, back in
You know
the
exactly
day,
what I mean.
like probably like what, 4 years ago, Kittens had a milk bar. Or fresh milk from the bar, and you can probably guess the logistics of that.
Well, I guess it's not any different than people putting like Catboy milk on something like that. So I guess,
No, it's a little different.
Catboy
What
milk?
the hell is happening?
or whatever they say,
Oh, you
like,
don't use soy milk in your tea?
they use that
We're all
the
still
milk.
incredibly normal.
Yeah, we're just
Very
a
normal.
normal bunch of people.
Normal role players. Nothing sus about us at all.
Well, okay, so if we're piggybacking on very unique drinks, if we're gonna talk about that, let's see. How about Elias? What's like a unique drink you've made at Unholy? Being as unholy is the name, so maybe that's an unholy drink.
Oh Christ.
Go on.
That's
Christ
a
isn't gonna help
spirit.
you now.
uh A unique drink. Actually, I haven't had any unusual requests. People have been really good about um ordering from the menu. Honestly.
Anybody have
Really?
any? Got some interesting named drinks over there at a place called Unholy?
I mean, yeah, we have a Gamba game
Okay.
drink that I've called Glutton's Punishment.
Who's got the signature drink, rat poison?
Somebody has a
That's
signature drink.
amazing.
Name the rat poison. I like it.
No, it's just a cup of rat poison.
I'll take 3.
I'll
Just
take
3?
one right now.
I mean, that's already what Plushy drinks anyways, so.
Well, how about
Battery acid
you?
mixed on the menu.
How about you, Lorelei? What's like a unique drink that you've made in the past?
Okay, so backstory, Ayun is like post-apocalyptic themed. So
Ooh.
like the running joke is that like I go out and I scavenge in like the wastelands and bring back things. So we have like a fun drink that is we call it liquor maybe. Um and
Maybe.
Question mark.
basically yeah, it's a game that I just do because I like having fun with people and it's like the most interaction I get at the bar. It's not like Gamba, it's just normal drink cost. And you drink it and it's death roll style. You have to take 3 sips without passing out. And we have a wall of fame for people who have like made it and not passed out from drinking it.
Oh my god.
So, and it gets harder. So we have 3 tiers and we only have people in the first tier, but like I made all the frames and I really want people to do it so that way we can see all the frames that I've made for it. Um, but
I
yeah,
like that idea a lot. That's a really good
yeah,
idea.
basically like one person will do it and then everyone's like, that's really cool. I'm gonna go do that. So it's my
That
favorite thing.
that's a really good way to get people engaged in the bar. That's actually a good idea. Now I'm like I'm like thinking like in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, that's like a good idea. Something.
Yeah.
That's
Hands like pause,
honest
please. I'm taking notes.
a post-apocalyptic bar
Yeah.
where it's like, all right, this is what the scavengers managed to scrounge up today.
Yeah, it's we have like right next to us. That's like my favorite interaction I've had so far. Is we right next to the bar we have like this little like offshoot that like has mushrooms and moss and stuff. And someone did it and failed, and they went over as a blue mage and like blew up. And okay, I don't know if you've met Claren Yes yet, but she's like our role plays as like a health inspector and goes to venues and gives them ratings on it. And she was there, and I
Yes.
was like, "Close your eyes and don't look over here."
I
And I
know
was
who
like,
you're talking
"Yeah,
about, and I
oh, I
love
love her."
them.
Yeah, if you ever see the little violation emote, that was me because I love it so much. It's so fun. Uh, but yeah, so I was like, "Close your eyes, don't look," and I swapped to like a white mage to try and raise them before they noticed.
That
It was really fun.
that's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, and then Nimbus just commented on the Twitch. Just the goal is how many bodies we can hide in the foliage and the it our Ayun is
Oh
very
my
chaos.
gosh.
It's all chaos all the time.
How many bodies are in there?
I've lost count. I don't even know the full number, so it's a surprise.
I love that. How about you, Lilibet? Anything unique you've made?
Um, I've never made anything terribly unique, but my old venue, everyone had a staff special. Only they could make it. There's a regular menu, and then everyone had a staff special. And there's some pretty unique drinks on there. There's a fishbowl. I feel like everyone has a fishbowl, but that was our fishbowl.
Nice.
And with the new venue, the entire menu is drinks that my staff has made. So each one is unique to them. each one's credited to them. I did do the roll drink. It's a 1 out of 10. I haven't written what happens to you when you roll yet, but I guess we'll find out tonight when I make the list.
I like that. I like that role. I like that engaging drink. I'm like jotting these notes down. I mean, because that's like a good idea. It's like a really good way to engage the bar and get the bar, like as a not like a center point, but include it in the nightlife, right?
Yeah.
That's why Annie suggested we do this podcast, because he just wanted to get ideas.
Um.
Is that so, Kuba? Okay. Yep.
But speaking of all these gambling drinks, though, that actually has given me an idea a couple of times to start like a D&D based venue, like everything is based on rolls and stuff.
That'll be kind of fun.
Okay, just sorry. Side comment on that. I don't know if you've been to Florida Here's venue. I think it's on Primal. If you ever see it up, it's like the in between or something. It is the best experience you'll ever have in your life. Basically, you roll, and if you roll above a certain number, you get your drink, and if you roll under the number, you get literally the most wild role played experience you've ever had in your life. I promise. 10 out of 10 worth it. I don't work there. I just go there too often every time I see it open.
What venue is it?
It's just a little pop-up that he does. And it's just called like the in between or something like that. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Like, sorry, I have to tell everybody because I had such a good time every time I've been there.
I'm writing this down.
Oh. That sounds interesting. I like that. What about you? I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with saying names sometimes. Ukyo?
Okay, there you go. You got it. So
Getting there.
at Four Fiends, we're also a casino. So at the bar, I do 4 different gambling drinks. There's a few that are like death rolls. We have one where it's like pick the lucky number of the night and you win a certain amount of money. But my like iconic drink, you'd call it, it's called on our menu, it's called a Kraken Cola, which is basically a rum and coke. But I play my character very clumsy and a lightweight in alcohol. So my specific drink is 99% cola, 1% alcohol. And if people tell me I can't taste the liquor, I tell them you're an alcoholic. Because
I actually quite
Hey,
like
you ain't
that.
gotta call us out like that. Hang on a minute. Hold
A
on.
savage.
That's pretty funny.
Just put a little liquor in the straw, It's a tip.
And then I also do a lot of food, so I have specific things where I'll write it out and I'll be like, God, did I leave the oven on? Or I swear if I drop this pan right now, I play very clumsy.
Mhm.
It's very fun to play very clumsy.
Everyone does these engaging things at the bar. I'm really Kuva. Get on the bar. Just kidding.
I'm there. I love doing this sort of thing. I just look, it's usually if something weird is happening over there, it's because Sylvia is trying to pimp me out to one of my friends who showed up. But like,
Effectively.
Shout out to Sylvie.
shout out to
Yeah.
Sylvie.
So for anyone for context, Sylvie works at the Trinkle Tiger and Afterglow. 2 different roles. She's my bar manager, and she is Plushie's VIP
She's my
manager.
crackhead. It's great.
Or crackhead. Yes, my bad. Very sweet person if you ever get to talk to her.
I will say though, with the gambling drinks, you do gotta know who you're talking to because a lot of people I have a lot of people tell me like, oh, I don't want the item, I just want the rolls. Or a lot of people are like, give me the item. You just gotta know who you're talking to because people will want the item, and some people don't, and will just give you the money. So it really just depends. Because a lot of people also get very picky about their inventory. They're like, oh, I don't have any space or this and that. So you just gotta know who to give out items to and who not to give out items to.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when somebody comes up asking for 20 of those gamma drinks,
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't got 20 of those drinks right now.
Yep.
Dude, they're getting so expensive on the market board.
Oh,
That's why you have to craft your own.
I ain't crap. My brain dies. I lose a brain cell.
also a fun little thing here. Happy birthday, Kuva!
Kuva,
Happy
happy
birthday,
birthday!
Happy
Kuva!
Happy
birthday!
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I just saw it in game chat and I was like, oh.
I know, yeah. I seen someone post. I was like, wow, I didn't know that.
Plush. What are we doing?
Oh, what was plus trolling?
Hold on, I have to
and
go
I
back.
felt-
How did you even
That's
get
when
on
we
that?
enacted a petting train, though, for what it's worth.
Yes,
but
I
now
did.
that-
It's great.
I don't. Plush, how? I wasn't looking at the chat when I noticed everyone just fucking spamming happy birthday. Like, what?
Happy
What
birthday!
possessed you to just be like?
What,
where
do you
did the-
not want the free dessert that comes with being at Timmy's?
No, I mean,
On your
I told
birthday?
him. I told him like, yeah, it's not my birthday. I'll take those cookies though, and he still gave it to me. Like,
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Frost is
So
watching
accept
the
the birthday
stream,
treat.
so he now knows it's not your birthday.
Oh my god.
There we go. More chaos.
Big.
look, I just work here. All right.
Gotta announce it in any restaurant, you know? It's my birthday. I just pray they don't sing to you. Oh, free dessert, free dessert.
Oh man, there was a couple of places I've been to where you would say it's your birthday and they would come up to the table and sing to you, and it was
Chili's.
no. We had this one place called Ryan's, and it was like happy birthday. We're so glad you came.
The standard restaurant happy birthday song.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And having
Those
the
always
entire
make me feel
restaurant
special.
having the entire restaurant turn around and
Counterpoint.
look at you.
Yep.
You're making people
Uh,
suffer for your amusement, 10 out of 10.
See, and that's what I'm saying is that every club owner is a little sociopathic.
A little.
Just a
Talk about a Runa
response.
like that. Come on.
Wait, what?
Oh.
You give him too much credit.
Yeah, that's very true.
Only
I'm glad that
borderline. Jeez.
I'm glad that I bullshitted my way into being Plushy's friend. It's a good feeling.
We're gonna have to
And then
bullshit our way into another question.
We found
Listen
Kuva
what I was about to
on this side of the road, and we
Perfect
took him
segue.
in.
As
that-
we bullshit train our way into the next question, let's see. Have you worked at any other venues? Some of you probably already mentioned this. And if so, is there any differences in the job based on the venue? Probably theme wise, community. What would you think of that? And anyone
the-
could really start with this question.
The community makes a huge difference. Like the type of people that you have going to one of those places really like you can really expect a different like kind of work in a particular night just depending upon the place that you're going. I know personally there would be some places where I could expect to have like 3 or 4 people at a bar who half of them were new, half of them were people who knew me and wanted to come by and talk again because we had a positive experience the last time or something like that. And then there would be like these like RP exchanges between them, like people who actually wanted like these like, you know, like wanted to see like those elaborate like drink making things. And then depending upon some other places, there would be people who would actually like get impatient if you wanted to like RP like prompt, like do like a sort of like this is me making your drink sort of thing. Because they just wanted to go over to the bar and just kind of just get their drink and then go back just to kind of I don't know, just like they're it's like a like sort of like a role play light. Like they like the idea of going over to a bar and getting a drink, but like they're not the kind of person who necessarily wants to just like sit there and like watch someone do like the confirm emote for like 45 seconds and type up a thing.
I think for some people, the RP drink is just an accessory to the other RP they are having. It's like now I have a drink to like prop with.
Mhm. It really all depends on the place.
I mean, a lot of times it's just an icebreaker to go talk to the really hot bartender.
Mhm.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the biggest thing that changes between venues is definitely the customers. You'll get like if you have your regulars, you have your regulars at one spot, then you'll have your regulars at another, and the personality can vary between those two groups. Some people you can openly flirt with, and some people are more closed off. It just depends on who you're talking to that night. Or also the jokes. You can't like some people like certain jokes, other people like others. You just gotta balance it out between the two groups.
That definitely does make a good point because I myself have worked as a bartender at a few places. Um, Probably only two venues before. So I was mainly just curious on your perspective of because for me was actually my only ever NSFW places that I bartended at. That would you say, I guess that's a follow-up question, is it vastly different if you were to bartend at maybe a safer work lounge, tavern, whatever it is, compared to NSFW? In retrospect, yes, but how would you just think as a general whole for
I,
community-wise?
I would say yes because I've bartended at a cafe and at Four Fiends at Four Fiends Casino we do offer some NSW stuff. So it does vary a lot. In the cafe, you're mainly there to talk to people, and the way you speak is also very different. Because at the cafe, I spoke as a server slash bartender, where I would say, "Here's your drink, ma'am," or "Here's your menu. What would you like for me to put in your drink? What other pieces of food would you like?" While at Four Fiends, I can just ask somebody, what's pick your poison for tonight?" Or like, what are you drinking tonight? Instead of having to be like, what would you like on this? What would you like on that? So it is different when you speak because you either cater to a more restaurant perspective or you cater to kind of like a dive bar. So it just depends.
Well,
Interesting.
yeah, that's
Mm.
pretty interesting. That yeah, I guess yeah, going piggybacking on that, yes, it would depend on the really your audience. It all depends on the audience.
Every single person has a different level of RP that they're willing to engage with. Um, and being able to try to like sniff out what that is based on how they're talking is kind of like it's a skill that you pick up along the way each time. Like I don't know how different it is for like the courtesan types because I feel like they're always kind of being like, this is what I'm presenting to you, like this is the service that I'm offering. Not to say that they don't adapt to it at all. I'd imagine they would, but like I feel like personally for my time bartending, a lot of it is like the quicker I can figure out what level of communication this person is most comfortable like interacting with me on, like do they want to like are they using like if they come up and they use quotation marks and like a tell, I'm like okay, this person's kind of taking this seriously. And then sometimes you find people who are like talking like it's literally like they're texting their friend, like you ask, like if you ask someone how they are and they send back like NMU and you're like, oh okay, well this person's just like being really casual. um I feel like the most confusing people to me are the ones who use like emojis and like little smiley faces inside of quotation marks. Um, those are kind of a wild card, but a lot of it is basically just trying to zero in on how a person wants to communicate with you as quickly as possible, basically.
So you heard it here, folks. Throw curveballs at Kuva if you see him bartending.
Please.
Okay,
Oh
the
my
problem
god.
is he'll bat them back.
Already do.
This
Yes.
man matches your fucking energy. That's the scary part.
No, yeah, Plushie has found out. It's like I can be really, really gentle with people, but then like if Plushie like feels like being a problem, um I keep up with her
Good
pretty well.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm a I'm a pull up. What's poppin'?
Stop, please. Do you know how many people have gotten to say that because of me? That's painful.
Someone said can't take you anywhere. Oh my gosh.
No, Plushie is someone I want to go places with.
So
Yeah,
She's
you'll
fucking
never know
insane.
what'll happen.
so then piggybacking on Floor's question about, the RP text and such, do we feel that there's ways to improve bartending in venues? And if we do feel that way, how would we improve that?
More macro slots. More macro slots.
More space within the macros to put text.
Oh, I was about to say also in the text box, give me more character counts. I need longer messages.
Real.
Yeah,
I'd be hitting like 3 messages on regular.
Yeah, I have to like copy and paste my messages over multiple times. I know third-party plugins aren't allowed. If Wordsmith, one of the best ones for me.
just a random plug there.
Yup. That's what I use all
Yara's
the
gonna
time.
have a field day with this.
Hell yeah.
That's all right. I don't think Square watches this.
Yeah, I have to do a lot of copy pasting, or also depending on a macro. I hate having to do like /wait.2 because then it just kind of bloats up chat. Especially if you have like shouts going out at the same time advertising different things, you kind of just end up bloating up chat with your conversations.
I actually think bartending is pretty not faultless, but there's definitely other roles that I think could use improvements in venues. But when it comes to bartending, I think just being very clear about the kind of establishment you are. I've never bartended in a club except for a really big one on NA, and that was the only place RP was happening, and everyone else was kind of, shit posting. Just establishing what you are and what to expect from the venue, the kind of role play that's happening there. It kind of filters out the door, kind of doesn't stop people, but encourages more people to maybe avoid your place if they're going to get a lot of RP at the bar. I don't know. I think it's pretty flexible. It's a very flexible role. You can adapt a lot to the people that are coming in. It's a lot easier than say like greeting.
I kind of want to counter you on that. I think greeting's a little bit easier.
I think people have a lot of opinions about greeting because I was watching the last podcast episode. People don't like the tells, or some people don't like greeters at all. Some venues don't want greeters. Some people need greeters. I don't know. Bartending, you
It's
kind of
just a
adapt more.
situational thing.
Oh.
It really depends on the kind of
Mhm.
space that you've curated. Some places hardline require it.
Yeah.
I was literally about to just say that, Push. It's very situational with greeters, but at the same time, it is and can be controversial because, yes, you are right. They're sending a tell. Um, and sometimes you want people to know the information on your venue, whether it be the Discord, um, you know, if you have social media like Blue Sky or whatever the case may be, how to get to the venue part if you're a void build. So there's a lot of different issues with that, and I agree, but it's not to like cut off subject from bartenders, but
Yeah, I was told that this was going to be about me.
True.
But yeah, if any of the viewers are curious, there is the previous episode about greeters you can go back and watch either here on Twitch or on our YouTube. And then awkward silence.
This is what happens when you self promo, Runa. How dare you?
I wasn't trying.
No, we were all going back to check out the podcast.
True.
Collective watch party of previous episodes.
They were bookmarking it for later.
but I don't know if I would say that bartending would be easier than greeting, as greeting can just be like target, macro, move on. And then like bartending is kind of like the person comes up, you should be engaging with that person and it's conversational. At the same time, use a macro to make a drink. So, I mean, I guess there's some like gray line with it, and you don't want to be so like I don't want to say like any job in the venue is easy because each job has its own unique pros and cons, to say the least. But
I think what I mean more so is that to me, bartender, the expectations of me are very streamlines. I know what people want. I know when people come up to me what they're gonna ask for. If they're new, there's a macro menu to use. If they're looking for an immersive roleplay experience, I have that option to sit there with them. I think it's easier in that the things you can do and what's expected of you from, say, the venue owners. It's a little more flexible.
okay, I can agree with
Oh my
that.
god,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Flexibility is always nice.
Especially since like each experience with a bartender is just so custom to each client and it's just such a curated experience. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, so be sure to appreciate your bartenders out there.
They work so hard. We absolutely should.
Speaking of going on from all of that, for you yourself, whenever you go out to a venue, do you prefer the RP texts that are catered or just a quick casual exchange and small talk?
I think I'll go here, especially with my 4 different gambit drinks. A lot of people, when it comes to them gambling, they just want the quick small talk of back and forth. Give me the rules. Tell me how to do it. Am I doing it correctly? If they order an actual drink, I'll sit there and give them their curated experience and personalize my messages to them. So it really just depends on who comes up to your bar. I do like the longer conversations though. As a person who struggles with ADHD, it keeps me interested in the game and I don't start tapping out or moving to other things or pulling up my phone. It'll keep me interested in the conversation.
See, with me going on that front, when I get bored, I start bullying my other bartender. My boss can double down on that. But he's easy
Just
to bully.
start problems.
Oh, absolutely.
I love using the water emote on people's shoe. So great.
But I prefer more personalized emotes. When I'm going as a patron, if I'm bartending, um, I will write out something quick or I have it macroed. Because I believe in the interaction more. It's more about the talk before and the talk after than the actual drink.
I agree with that completely.
Because I'm not there to sit here and write out how I'm making your drink in like 3 paragraphs of detail for you to read and then just be done.
Yeah,
Everybody has seen. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I feel like I've only ever had one interaction with someone who would just come to get drinks to take them back and not do anything with them. Um, so I like as a patron and as a bartender, I like the more personalized, like talking and getting to see like how the drink is made and maybe commenting on that depending. Um, I think it's just more fun. And also like if I don't want that interaction, I just won't go to the bar to be honest. Like it's totally an optional service.
As a patron, I care very little about what's going into the drink because I've already read it on the menu. Um, it's more so to talk to the person, and like I said earlier, the RP drink is more of an accessory to the RP. It gives you an excuse to get the RP, because you want to drink. How it's made is kind of secondary.
Well, this kind of reminds me, I meant to bring a bottle of whiskey today for this episode. I did not come prepared. Anyone else got any takes on this as well?
Well, what do I mean to piggyback on that question? What changes do the bartenders think can happen that can positively impact that, right? So taking away from how some people are like, oh, like I came to the bar, I just kind of want to drink to feel like I'm in like a nightclub or like feel like I'm in an RP venue or whatever the case may be. Where's like the compromise in that, right? From the bartender slash EMing the drink than you just getting the drink. Because I know like there were a lot of comments of like, oh, I like if I'm a patron, like I don't care like about the RP experience, I just want the drink, or like then it's like, oh, like there's some bartenders are like, I want to streamline and just talk to that person. So where's like that happy medium?
The irony there
Honestly,
is that whenever I was bartending for my venue, I wouldn't even do the drinks or anything. I would just, do the trade and then just sit there and chat with people. I know I'm very bad bartender, but
No, I think it's a matter of the community that you curated surrounding that. Some people are very much, I want item and I just want to chit chat. And then other places are very much, I want to sit here and have a 7 paragraph back to back to back kind of to and fro with you. So I think it's a matter of reading the venue space that you've curated, that it really depends. There isn't really a wrong answer because what works for one venue isn't going to work for another. So there is a lot of leeway in that. There you have to give yourself a little bit of space in this.
And also day to day differs, in my opinion. It
Mhm.
depends. Like, yeah, you have your regulars, but there are gonna be times you're gonna have somebody come in with a group and they're gonna just buy like a set of 5 drinks and go off. Or you're gonna have like 3 or 4 randoms come in, fill out your bar, and you're sitting here slinging drinks for 4 different people, carrying on 4 separate conversations, all in whispers
oh
I was
yeah.
about,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
I was gonna piggyback off of that, especially when you get like big DJs that come into your venue and they bring in tons of people with them. It just depends on how like on who his community is too. Because if you want to have a full bar and have conversations with each one, it can get a little overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did have
Mhm.
like a big DJ come in once, and I was so overwhelmed at the bar. I was like, "There's like 12 of you, and you all want drinks, and I'm doing my best." So also, just please be patient with your bartender. If there's a lot of people at the bar and there's only one of them,
But also, don't be afraid to interact with your bartender. Don't be afraid to walk up and go ask for a drink.
Yeah, we
Nine
don't
times
bite.
out of 10, we don't even care if you pay.
Yeah, I'll be real. I don't really
that's
give
kind
a
of true,
shit.
actually. Yeah.
I,
yeah,
I
I, pay,
mean,
I pay the venue owner no matter what. I don't really give a shit. I guess.
No, I definitely feel that the many times half the time I forgot to actually take the money and I just paid out my own pocket.
The amount of times I
well,
have such a bad habit of putting the item and then just clicking accept immediately. I'm like, fuck, wait, no.
here is another hot take, and this goes back to what we were talking about of how can bartenders improve. I don't think pricing drinks is really that big of a deal. I think if you put pay what you want, you can get a lot more traction. because some people are like, oh, well, I have to pay for that drink. I'm not going up there.
I think it's good to have a healthy
Yeah.
balance between pay drinks like specials and then just pay what you want for normal drinks.
Right.
Yeah.
I think selling drinks that are 5K each doesn't amount to much skill anyways to bother with it. And as a patron, I don't order a drink unless I'm tipping a good amount, at least like 100K. So in my place, at least, the drinks are free. And if someone wants to tip you, they'll tip you. That's how it goes in most places, anyways.
That's
Any
how I am as a patron.
substantial, yeah, any substantial bill you make will just come from a tip anyways. So kind of just cut the middle out, and I don't charge for the drinks individually.
Yeah, as a patron, whenever I go out, I like my static amount of pay that I give every time is 250K gil. Doesn't matter if I'm getting one drink or 20, I'm giving 250K. I don't care. You can keep the rest as tip, whatever's left over is tip.
It's a reminder to tip your bartenders. Followed by yawning.
I have a funny question. How true is the stereotype about Aether people being terrified of a bar? Because that's something I've heard personally on and off over the years, but how real has that been in your experience? Like for everybody at the table here? Is there actually truth to that?
No.
Pretty common.
I've only been to like either somewhat nightclubs or like out at not role play lunges. So far people avoid the bar, so yes, they're kind of scared of it. And the person will literally just put a macro, so it isn't very entertaining, at least to me. I'm not a nightclub person at all. I tried. I can't do it. I need role play in my life.
Plushie, I mean, you've been to my venue, right? Yeah, you've been plenty of times. How could you think that
No,
either
never.
people are scared of bars when you go to my place and there's people just literally dancing
my
on the
brother
bars?
tries sample size of one versus sample size of everybody at the table here.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Depends on the night. I've had. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nah, you got it. You got it.
Let's be honest.
Now
Plushie
you
never
gotta
just
rock
takes
paper
one
scissors
sample.
for it.
Roll.
Oh
Whoever
my
rolls
God.
higher. Do a slash random. Whoever rolls higher.
Let's
I'm
go,
not
let's go.
there. Who's rolling for me?
I'll roll for you. I'll lose for you. I got you. Say less.
Wait, what are we rolling
Hey!
for? Yeah,
I
you
won.
lost.
Alliance, you go. I lost.
Okay.
I process rolling too.
Shit, I forgot what I was about to say. Okay. I think it has to do a lot with player base. A lot of the Aether players are known to doing a lot of PvE. You know, in Crystal, roleplay content, crafting gathering, that's what they're known for. So of course the RP scene for bars are going to be a lot higher. Primal is a bit of a mixed bag, but Aether is basically known for PvE mainly. So that might have a lot to do with it. They go in to veg after doing whatever savage content they've been doing. They don't want to interact with anybody. They've been yelling at people for hours. So I think that has a
I feel
lot to
so
do with
seen.
it.
That's what I was gonna mention, that exact same thing, where most people are raiders and are just getting off of their like 12-hour savage attempt. Most people don't really want to chat.
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, they didn't clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Let them be little grumpy minions in the middle of a dance floor. Just let them go.
Grumpy
RP is clear, by the way.
Let them
Oh,
AFK bee's knees. Let them
Oh my
AFK bee's knees.
AFK
Scream
bees.
got me. What the fuck is going on?
I just want to veg out and watch my character's tits jiggle. Okay, don't fucking RP with me.
Real.
There you go.
Real.
See?
Massive titty jiggle? Yes.
Yeah, I just let them AFK bee's knees. I'm cool with them just chilling.
I don't know. I always thought that Aether was like one of the bigger ones to go to venues since they do a lot of raiding. Like, is everybody I've ever seen within the venue scene here on Aether during my time were raiders that were just coming into places to relax, sit at bars, and talk to people.
That's what I've noticed once Ether was closed off for Dawn Trail. Before then, barely saw any.
No, it was
I
actually
even
like this
asked some of
before
my
then, but
MC
after it
people
was
who are
worse.
readers. After it was worse. Interesting.
Yeah, because like I remember when I was trying to move my venue to like a different DC so people could get in and everything, and majority of the people from my venue are Aether people and Aether raiders. And when I suggested moving to a different server, they're like, "No, you're not allowed." It was
That's the Aether
overwhelmingly,
mentality, though.
yeah, it was
It really is,
overwhelming,
though.
like 80% in the vote that no, it has to stay on Aether.
Bro, it took me 6 months to get on Aether. I'm not letting that shit go. It took me 6 months to get on Aether, and it took me a year and a half to get a house. I am not letting that shit go.
That's so real. The Aether passport is different.
Oh, it's very different.
I came from Primal, and I live in a broke ass goblet. I am taking my place.
You live in the ghetto.
I do live in the ghetto. The only place I can afford.
Stop!
As we cry,
so
Plushy and
real.
I, with our goblet.
Oh no,
menus.
there's no we in that anymore. I'm moving to the lavender beds. Fuck you.
Oh, you have the lavender beds.
I'm
No,
free.
trust. When that new place opens up, I'm stealing someone's house in Shiro. You best bet.
I'm gonna move to the
Oh my
lavender beds
God.
and then act like I don't know nobody.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, you went
Oh
from
my
the
God.
you went from the
I went from
the
the
goblet
mist.
to the lavender beds. How nice.
I went from the
I'm gonna
trenches to
Yeah.
the palace, I see.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take back my statement of calling you guys minions, and y'all are now just gremlins. Y'all
I
just
will
Right.
take that
gremlins
happily. I am a small ass gremlin.
from Aether.
From
Or
Ether.
Aether
Aether
gremlins.
Ether
crackhead,
siren to be in
alternatively.
fact.
Oh, I could have guessed.
God, man, I don't even know when was the last time Aether opened. God,
Never.
Ugh.
Right now.
Oh, it opened.
February. It was last February. I remember last February it opened because that's when I came.
No, I'm
Anybody
pretty
else
sure.
Yeah,
like get that flashback of
first,
like
it was like
Titanic?
half of
It's
it
like
open.
been 34 years.
I'm pretty sure Aether is
Yeah.
open right now.
No, let me check.
Yeah.
I'm fact checking. Let me see.
Well, I mean,
think
we're
it
on
is
Ether right
actually.
now. Am I missing something?
No, I'm talking about like to move over.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Like half of it was open a while ago, I think around like the
Oh.
release of 7.1, and then the other half released around like 7.15, and it's been open since for that other half, which I'm mad about. My siren only lasted for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're only open for like a week or two, and it's like, oh. And then when I had to move over, I had to move over in a rush. I was like, it's not gonna be open for that much longer. So I had to get rid of the house, get rid of my apartment, had to clean everything out. Oh my god, my inventory was so full.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the thing now. There's actually 3 worlds in Ether that are open for transfer.
Which ones?
Adamantoise, Cactuar, and Sarg.
Nice.
Because facts matter, so we did your fact checking for you.
Let's go.
And now that we've gotten veered off topic a lot for a
It
moment
was worth
there.
it. You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a good conversation, that's for sure. But for our bartenders here, for those out there that might be interested in bartending at venues, is there any advice that you would like to give them?
Just do it.
If you see other bartenders doing something a different way that you're like, I don't know if I can do it that way, just do it your way. There's no single bartender who started off with like a perfect model of someone else and that's just how they got popular. Everyone just has their own way of doing things because everyone has their own way of interacting with things as well. Like you are a bartender for someone. There's always some. Not everyone is going to interact with bartenders the same way. So just because, if you've seen certain interactions and think, oh, I wouldn't be able to do it like that, that really doesn't mean anything. Just do it your way.
Don't be afraid of interaction.
I was about to
Don't
say, and
be
then also,
scared to like poke people if they're sitting there
yeah,
at your bar.
But also too, do keep in mind that some people are console players and they do take a little bit longer to type out their message.
Also, you don't have to have prior experience. Like I've never bartended IRL. I barely drink. It's like once a year thing for me. You can Google
felt
if
that.
you're like, yeah, you can like Google what does it mean when someone orders something on the rocks real fast. Like you can figure it out as you go. Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
I'm a
you don't
big
gotta know any of the lingo or anything. Just it's a quick Google search away. People don't care.
Don't ever forget to put a Moscow Mule in a copper mug, or people will yell at you.
All right, so I'm the uninitiated here. What the fuck is a Moscow Mule?
Eh.
And what if I
Well, let
want
me
to
go
get yelled
Google.
at?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I got this.
Google it.
True?
What is a
Somebody with a PhD in
Moscow
Google. What
Mule?
is this?
Moscow Mule is a cocktail made with vodka, ginger beer, and lime juice, garnished with a slice of wedge of lime and a sprig of mint, and it is in a copper mug. There you go.
Why
See,
does it
that's how
have to
easy it
be
is
in
to
a
be a
copper mug?
bartender.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I've never-
flavor.
I wrote out an entire skit about that and forgot the copper mug, and they came back and threw it at me and were like, "You forgot the copper mug." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, it says
I'll
it
do it.
keeps the drink cold and enhances the flavor profile.
I love the taste of metal.
Right?
Yeah.
Y'all ever,
Think about.
Isn't copper how people describe the taste
I was
of
about to
blood?
say, y'all ever taste pennies?
Like-
Oh my god.
Honestly, I would just throw a penny in the drink and be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, you want copper? Here's a penny, bro.
There's probably more than just copper on that penny, though. Let's be real. That's money
Good.
is
Yeah,
nasty.
custom seasoning. That's flavor
Good.
right there. Most people kill for
Disgusting.
that.
Extra
Disgusting.
That
protein.
penny has seen some stuff,
Extra
that's for sure.
Protein. What is on your pennies?
I don't know, bug.
You
Seasoning.
want to find out?
No,
Stop.
actually, I might be good. I don't know.
It's a promise and a threat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so that was a pretty visceral reaction about the Moscow Mule. What happened to you? What happened?
I
Here.
got yelled at. I got yelled at like terribly, and like I'm sitting here, I'm playing like a 9-foot tall aura, and I have this like short guy yelling at me, and I'm like, "The fuck did I do to you?"
Okay, you know what? That's
I-
actually just kind of funny.
It was awful.
Just was not
Oh
sucking on enough
God.
pennies.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea of like some 2.5-foot tall Olafel just like fucking crying and shitting at this giant aura man about it. Like that, I'm kind of. The more I think about it, the more I'm actually warming up to this guy.
At least whip out the Lalafell lifter so they can look you in the eyes, proverbially.
Just be
And
like, that's cool.
At my bar, we used to have a lot of bartenders, so now whenever I walk around, there's like high chairs in the back of the bar, so I'm always like stepping on them. I'm like, God damn it, I keep going up.
Is it bar roleplay if
Amazing.
someone isn't fighting someone else?
Real.
I know,
True.
I was about to. I was just thinking that.
I went to an RP bar for the first time. Not like RP or bar, but like a tavern, and my favorite thing was people fighting at the bar.
That's a great time.
I've never
I did-
seen a good old fashioned bar brawl. Holy shit.
There was a venue on Mateus that used to constantly have bar brawls, and like people would get kicked down the stairs. It was a great time.
I need to be finding some of these places.
Sorry.
They
What's the
obviously.
point of
2020 was a different year. I'm gonna tell you that.
What year?
What's that called?
2021?
2020, just 2020.
Oh, dude, that's peak COVID, bro. That's peak COVID. Everybody was inside.
Oh my god, like so many people, so many venues, so much carnage. There's a fight club too. That made it even better.
What are you trying to say, Lily?
Oh, what's the point of hiring security if there isn't fights?
Real.
Even
Love
Oh, I don't-
security gives up and throws down too.
Yeah, we don't hire security guards. We hire referees.
Yeah, buddy.
Because I need to start a bar fight to keep our security
Oh
busy.
my god.
My favorite thing
Keeping
to
them
do to our
employed
security.
creatively.
My favorite thing to do to our securities is they at my place, no minions are allowed. So I'll just walk up to them, pull out a minion, and walk away. It must have been the wind in chat. It must have been the wind. Walk around, pull out another minion. Whoa, what's that? Put it away. Walk back to bar.
Amazing.
It adds a new depth to security positions and venues.
Gotta
Also,
keep.
don't be afraid. This reminds me. Don't be afraid if you're not interacting with patrons to interact with amongst staff. Like, make it a fun environment.
As a bartender, your main job is to entertain. Doesn't matter how you do it, you just entertain.
Absolutely.
Embrace the chaos.
As
Well-
I said, pour water on people's shoes. They'll love it.
A good question to bring up now would be, how do we feel about the bar
Hungry.
spaces that you're both that you're working in?
That's a good one.
Or do you prefer people like, if like you had a patron, they like kind of just jump up on your bar and just like stare down at you, and you're just looking up at them like, hello, like, what are you doing up on my bar? Do you feel that your spaces are
Our
small?
bar, comrade.
Yeah, now it's
Oh.
our bar. Do you
It
feel like
all-
your bars are small? Do you feel like they're well enough? Should they be bigger? Should they be smaller?
I have a
I
good answer for this. Oh, go ahead.
okay. I try to encourage people to like be stupid at my bar because it brings more attention to the bar, so more people come over. And whenever they're like, let's say somebody does jump up on the bar, I'll just use like a water emote and be like, man, at least take your shoes off. Like, you got my shit dirty. Now I gotta clean up after you. Like, I try to interact with them as much as possible, whether it be like, dude, take your shoes off, or like, if you're gonna sit up there, go in the corner. I need to serve people stuff. Like, you can't, because you know how, like, my bar is very long. So my bar stretches from this couch to this couch. Like, it's the entire wall basically. So I have a very long bar, so I could fit multiple people. So I just tell people, go that side. I got to serve people on this side if they're gonna be dancing on my bar.
Or just RP spill drinks on them.
Yes, exactly. I love spilling drinks.
I'm usually on my bar too, so come join me.
Yeah,
I-
everybody danced on my bar.
Carnal House is a bit more refined.
Our bar is really
I
small.
tend to. My interaction usually has to do with if you're going to dance on my bar, you're going to pay. 9 times out of 10, people
Fair enough.
actually pay.
I discourage it just because I'm worried it will scare someone else off. I get a lot of new people when I bartend. I just worry it might discourage them because someone's being goofy.
It's me, I'm the one being goofy.
Just a second, I'll be right back.
Look what you did. You scared him.
Oh no. Well,
Shut the fuck up, Leslie.
we're about to scare everybody because we're about to jump into some controversial topics.
Oh, good.
Oh, exciting. Is everybody ready for this?
I am.
All right, so the goal today is to not get in trouble.
That's a very tall
Possible,
order, my
yes.
friend.
It's always a hope.
We haven't gotten in trouble yet. I gotta crank it up.
Oh yeah, we've already. We have, yes.
So I guess I'll pop the first question here, but we all know bartenders have ears to the ground, hear some things, talk to some pretty unhinged people, see some wild things at the bar. What's the craziest thing you've ever experienced when working at the bar?
I
Got my tail lit on fire.
Jesus.
Sounds about right.
What? What?
So craziest thing I've seen is like an IRL situation was at one time I seen, like, I know who people are because the bar is also like, in the staff wise, the bar is probably the person who gets talked to a lot, depending on how friendly they are. So I know who's who, and like who's friends with who, I have seen stalkers walk in and out of the venue. It's very bad. Some people get too into the game and don't know how to respect personal boundaries. And
You
they
should kill
have
them.
asked. They should. I won't sometimes. They have. They have asked me. There's been times where they have asked me, "It's like, hey, is this person working today?" I'm like, "No, bro. If you don't see them here, they're not here." Like it's very weird. And I'll call them out. I'll be like, "Dude, if you're gonna be like that, just get off the game. Go touch grass. Go get a job. Something, please. Like, go find a real connection outside of the game." Because if you think about it, like if you're falling for somebody in this game, it's kind of like trying to hit on the waitress because she's smiling at you. It's very, very weird to do, especially if it's at a venue setting, because some people are paid to just be nice to you.
I think that's anybody that works in a venue. They're paid to be nice to you.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see and then I will call out everybody. If you do see a stalker, tell them to go away because they are stalking. It is
Public
rude.
shaming works, people. Just a
Yes,
reminder.
bring back public shaming. Bring back public shaming.
Please.
Some people are getting too comfortable.
Yeah, if you're being stalked, please advise the venue owner or their management of the situation.
Yes. Please tell the
Yup.
other staff as well. Your staff members will happily stand up for your defense. Trust me.
Oh, the way they will get the pitchforks because I had a situation like that. That was interesting.
So if you ever do become a bartender and you do have a situation like that, don't be afraid to tell them to leave because they are disrespecting someone else's privacy.
It's a lot easier now with the housing blacklist.
Yes. Oh my God. Now you can actually kick people out of houses. It's so nice.
Yeah, I
It
like
was
that a
so
lot.
needed.
Oh, and also if you do get like a lot of troll people come in, don't be afraid to just be like, hey man, like I'm just trying to do my job. Don't be a dick about it. Because a lot of people do come into venues just to troll.
Not as many these days, from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's been rare. It's been rare, but there are people.
The craziest situation I had as a bartender actually had to do with the troll. They were mad that we, it's pretty common to ask people to put their weapons and mains away. Their friends were mad about that, so they brought in their other friend. He came down and he did this whole RP spiel about stripping down naked and farting at the bar. And he did it in RP, so it was funny. But like, I was like, at least he role played it, I guess. That's the only thing I could think of.
I couldn't even be mad. At least he followed the rule.
It was well written. It was pretty good.
Oh God.
That's a well-written review.
Do we have any other unhinged experiences with the patron kind?
My only thing is I got my tail lit on fire by an imp.
So how?
I wasn't paying attention to the imp.
Oh, that's your
And
own
they
fault.
decided to be a brat and lit my tail on fire, and we've been roleplay partners for I think 3 years.
Now that is a true Final Fantasy XIV love story if I ever heard one.
We have a regularly occurring joke with one of our co-owners that we're trying to steal his wallet, and sometimes the regulars get in on it because he like handles the money for the venue. So I guess theft would be my wild story. Not successful yet, but like we're working on it.
You're pickpocketing.
Work in progress. Work in progress.
Yeah,
Wear
like
'em
we'll
down.
get it.
All right. With that, I'm gonna have to cut my time short. I apologize.
Oh yeah, is it
No,
time for the word?
Forgiven.
Hey.
Yep. You guys have a wonderful one. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you so much for joining.
Thank you for being here.
It was nice having you, Elias.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
All
You
right,
too.
you as well.
You know, I think the tail lighting person would go really well with the candle problem at Fleurette.
Oh, God.
That was the, I'm
It
sorry,
really
it's the only
would.
thing I was thinking of. Like the whole time, I was just like,
Yes, burning their dress and also falling off our ladder.
where are you on
And also
fire?
our kitchen lit on fire because someone exploded themselves.
For a library, you see more fire than I think any other venue has.
Literally, we had a common occurrence of someone blowing themselves up with Blue Mage in the
Oh my
kitchen
god.
just to make a drink. Just to make a drink. And so I had to be on healer duty the entire time.
I'm
At
all
least 3 times during the opening. It was bad.
Joke's on you, I main Sage. I'm always on healer duty.
I know, I made Sage too. That's why I was just like, okay, it's time to get the fuck up.
Yo, come on, resurrect.
Like, I need you to be here. I can't pay you if you're dead. Because there was a staff member who kept doing it. And I was like, okay.
Oh, you know, if you wait till the end, and if they do it near the end of the shift, you can just leave them dead and you don't have to pay them.
Oh,
I thought of that before because they pissed me off one day. And I think I did leave them.
the unfortunate trek back from Solution 9 is so real.
Save money by killing your employees after their shift.
Real.
Exactly.
No, my my boss is
Real
here.
and recommended.
You'd have a very high turnover rate at that point.
Oh my god.
I still somehow have staff, so I think it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
just-
cheaper than the arson rate, you know?
All my homies love arson.
Or is it insurance fraud?
Oh, even better.
Thing.
As a treat.
Yeah, a little bit.
As a treat.
Who doesn't love a little insurance fraud? I'm just saying. Except if the government is watching this, not me.
the Ilrizian government.
Yeah. If
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a thing.
that would be very funny, actually.
The venue shadow government.
I mean, we do
venue
have
shadow
a
government.
health inspector, so like,
Oh, right.
gotta have there's somewhere making these rules, right?
Unless
Oh,
you hire me to be the health inspector for a night.
Oh my god.
OSHA's requesting your location.
Turn it off so fast. No location here.
People are humping on the couch after a truth or dare. I'm on the floor below. Yeah, there's no way that these joints are gonna hold this up.
God, you have to get the disinfectant spray. It can be so bad sometimes.
But let's move on to like one of the next big things we wanted to ask. Wages. That's a pretty interesting topic across the board because bartenders are kind of a different sphere of payment compared to a lot of static hourly positions. So do you guys know what the base start wage for bartenders is? Like, do you think do you think whatever number you're thinking of is like worth the work? Should it be more? Like, give me your kind of thoughts on payment because it's just so different.
I'm kind of chilling with my payment. I make 400K a night. I'm chilling. I don't really play this game as seriously as I should, so money isn't an issue for me. And I have 20 mil sitting on a retainer if I need gear. So I really couldn't care what I get paid.
That's so real.
I mean, honestly,
I
like
know.
the economy in this game is already weird enough that like it 400K a night is more than most players will ever make doing most things.
Most
Like,
content, yeah.
Yeah, like there are people who really will like sit down and like be able to like bang out a couple mil in a day by doing like crafting and stuff like that. But that's like a sort of like keeping up on your prices, keeping up on your
It's
like making
so
sure
much
that you
more
have
if you board hunt.
crafts to go. Yeah, like
Undercutting.
yeah, keeping up with all the bots that Square Enix doesn't ban. Like there's a lot of work to do. And like when you factor all of those sorts of things into like how much it takes to like make Gil sometimes, where like but like once you kind of break into that sort of like, oh, I know what I'm doing now, you make a ton of money. I feel like 400K a night to most players is pretty tempting. I feel like you only sort of oh sorry, go on.
No, I was about to say someone here in venue chat just brought up a good point. 400K a night, and I do keep tips, so I'm making a little bit more than 400 depending on the people.
And I feel like that kind of goes into the whole like it's really hard to put up what is a fair price when you like have people who work for a night and get 400K, and then every now and then someone comes in and tips them like something that's equivalent to like their entire night's wage or even more.
Yeah,
Like,
there's been times where you would come in and there's big spenders that will come in and you'll get like a $1 million tip and you're like, man, I'm gonna work for the next 3 days. Like you're just chilling, you know?
yeah.
I definitely understand that as my own experience. I've been paid a different wage for different places as a bartender for them all. I either got, of course, the 400K an hour, 100K of the 400K a night or 100K an hour. I got 200 or 250K an hour, or I got 500K an hour. But it honestly didn't matter much to me because it honestly depended on the community itself and how people were receptive to my role play in the first place. I feel like if you're going to type it up, then it's more rewarding despite the gil versus macro wise.
Mhm.
So money at the end doesn't really matter, especially if you keep tips, because I kept tips for all those jobs as well. It was very nice to make 2 mil for the night and then get like 3 mil tips. So a whole 5 mil for the night. It was pretty nice.
And then I was gonna say too, in Final Fantasy, the economy's kind of like skewed towards more cosmetic items. So obviously, like your furniture is going to be expensive. All my money goes to jet black dye and pure white for my glands. Like that's where you make your money by selling those. So it's really not super difficult to get money and also not super difficult to lose your money. So it's very even. It evens out.
Well, glam is the end game.
Hell yeah.
So
Counterpoint:
fair.
housing's the end game.
Housing's the end game because it takes
If
that long to get a house.
it's so hard
Counterpoint
to
trying
get
to
a house,
solo a savage.
though.
That's so real.
I'm not sure if y'all see it in game, this butler outfit. The boots I'm wearing, stupid had a solo Omega Scape 4.0 Savage for these stupid boots. It took so long, I
think it's
hated
worth
it.
it.
It wasn't. I did the entire quest line just to get these stupid boots.
Oh,
Ooh.
The
oh,
way I
it's worth
do
it though.
the way I do payment at Colonel House, uh, I only pay security because they don't have the option to sell services. But people come in and we host them more so. The caveat is that no one has to sell any sort of service. The bartenders only get paid through the patrons. Also on the caveat that you can leave the bar at any time and go do something else. Just because I think it's an immersive venue. Most of us are just there for the role play. And I think I said it before, but any substantial amount of gil you get will be from those big tips. If someone wanted to be paid, I'd pay them. They usually decline my pay anyways. Yeah,
That's a good point.
we're more of a hosting venue. The gil you make is, you keep absolutely everything you make. Any gil given to you is yours. Yeah, it's something new we're trying. If I end up needing to pay people because it's just so slow, I will. But I guess I'll let you guys know if it works out well for my staff.
Is that because you have a lot of artists on staff? Like, what does your staff composition look like? Just out of curiosity.
We have, let me double check. We have 4 artists. We advertise them well enough by our own means. We make announcements for them. We shout them out. They offer commission slots throughout the night for whatever they're asking for. If no one's there for art, they're welcome to tag in and kind of role play whatever role they want. It's the same with all my other staff as well.
Yeah, I work at Carnal House as an artist, but starting to do the bartend thing just for fun and something to do when I'm not drawing. So, but with that, I generally don't accept payment just because like as an artist, I have an easily renewable source of income from commissions with that. Um, and also like running venues is so expensive for y'all. So
Yeah,
for
I just don't
everybody
have
who owns
money.
one.
Yeah.
Like, not saying like anybody should just be like, don't take it, but like personally, I have enough money, so I just do it for fun.
My staff is also a lot of my friends that I've kept for like the past like 3 years in the venue space, and we all know each other, and we're just kind of doing it for fun as a group.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's one of the best ways to run a venue, though.
It's definitely a different vibe if you're friends with your staff.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
think
Yes.
if you're friends with staff, it's a lot easier to just run a venue because you don't got to worry about like if everybody's in a VC together and everybody's having a good time, then you know the night, even if you didn't make money, the night was worth it. Like I think that's what matters to me is just the
That
general vibe.
that and also my staff run away from me when I try to pay them. So sometimes I actually save money.
Yeah,
I
I've had
don't
that
know
too.
why.
Yeah, I've had that too. When I used to manage and give out pay, a lot of people were like, "No, I don't want it." I'm like, "You're getting it no matter what. I'm gonna mail it to you. We live on the same world. I'm gonna mail it to you. I don't care."
I'll find
I
you.
literally had to chase them down for 15 minutes after venue time just to trade them around the lavender beds. It was fun, but also what the fuck? Just let me pay you.
I just stick to what do you call it? Finding like because you know how you can send stuff to them on the same world. I'd be like, I'm just mail you. You're like, don't you dare! I'm gonna mail you. Like it's
I'll mail you. Be like, take your pay, please. That's the title, all caps.
I got very lucky with my Colonel House staff, Lorelei, and everyone is so sweet. I feel like all of us
Aw.
have clicked already, and we've only been open for one night last Saturday. Um, I'm very
Oh,
grateful. Everyone's so sweet.
That
Just a
seems
great
really
group.
sweet.
Oh,
that's so
Aw.
sweet. That's amazing.
I just met everybody there for the first time, and it's been so fun already. And then thankfully, the other place I work at AU, and like I'm friends with like the other co-owners, and like most of all of the staff actually. I think right now been friends for a while, so it's just a good time. It's just fun.
Well,
Congrats
I'm
on your
glad to see you
open.
have such a good community base and such a good staff base because I'm peeping into Twitch chat and I'm just seeing all the cheers from your team and people excited that you're here, you're talking to us and all of that. So you know what? I think that bodes well for your community and for your venue health. And I really do wish you guys the best. Like that's so exciting. I really hope you have fun in your venue journey. Like it is so rewarding.
thank you. My last venue kind of imploded on itself, so I'm very happy with how things are going so far.
Hmm.
I will kind of ask you guys, since people do own venues here, what's it like owning one? Because I don't ever plan on opening one. I
Terrible.
refuse to. Yeah, I was about to say I refuse to. There's a lot of shit that goes into it.
It
Plus,
is a
I'm
No.
poor.
lot of planning. It is a lot of having a lot of different personalities come together to make your venue work. Um, it can be taxing sometimes.
it's honestly a full-time job.
I was about to say because like don't
It
even
is.
get me started on like the flakers who will say, "Oh, I'll show up," but then don't, or like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's a lot. To me, it's too
No.
much. I could never.
I
Sure.
will say though, definitely come in with the mindset that although yes, your venue's going well at the moment now, or if you're just opening it and the few openings so far have seemed great, always still have that mindset that at some point something could fail, something
Yeah.
could go wrong, and it's okay if it does, because at the end of the day, it's based on how you deal with situations to come back from that. And if you can't come back from that, then don't open the venue in the first place because that is one thing that is inevitable to happen. Something will fail, something will go bad. Even if it's not like a major drama thing, something will not go the way that you want it to.
Yep.
But
I'm actually gonna
at the end of
stack
the day,
something on top of that.
at, yeah, you have to stack the good over the bad that will happen. And that's what keeps a
I
lot of people going.
yeah, yeah. Being a venue owner is one of the most time intensive and passion driven projects that you can genuinely start. It's very easy to burn out, it's very easy to fall off the track, it's very easy to become discouraged, and there's going to be an unfathomable amount of factors that will make you feel like you either can't do it, you're not meeting a self imposed expectation, or or maybe even a community driven expectation. There are going to be an overwhelming number of reasons to be an anxious like mess looking at your venue and being the overseer, because the buck stops at you, right? But on the flip side of it, you're the person creating a the community that you want to see. You're the person creating incredible events for people to love and enjoy. You're the person at the helm of dictating what a giant group of people do next and who you can celebrate, how you celebrate it. There's so much potential. And I feel like it's really easy, right? It's really, really easy for me to stand up here and go, well, okay, well, you got 45 minutes for me to sit here and tell you about how fucking awful something is. It's really easy for me to do that. But I really want to highlight how intensely rewarding it is, because the more you in like let me back up for a minute, right? Somebody said earlier that being a venue owner is a full-time job. It is all of that and more. It's a full-time job. You're going to go to sleep thinking about it. You're going to wake up thinking about it. Your notes app will be full of amazing things that you have half planned or quarter planned, and some of them just may not come to fruition, and you're just going to have to be okay with that. But it's such a beautiful thing to be able to be in a position where you can curate the community you want to see. You can do so much for the people around you, highlight struggles, be like a force of change. You can do so much with it. And more often than not, people will see passion and recognize that, and it will inspire people to pour gasoline on the fire. And that sole factor right there makes all the suffering worth it. You're always going to have negative shit in a job, that even if it's a job that you like. But having those moments where you'll have a terrible week, right? You'll have a fucking awful week. Let's say your numbers are down. Let's say finances suck. And you'll have somebody who wandered over, and maybe this is their first time visiting a venue, and they'll come over and they will gush at you. They're like, "This is amazing. I've never seen something like this before. I didn't know this was possible." And having that moment makes all of the difficult shit kind of worth it. Kind of equalizes. Even
Yeah,
if everything's hard,
especially
you've got just so much good in it.
I was about to say
especially
too,
when you oh,
but
I was just gonna say, especially if even just from guests, but your own staff, even if you're worrying about it,
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm kind of guilty of like sometimes being quite vocal of my worries when it comes to the venue to my staff, and then sometimes they're just like, okay, we know that you're a worry wart, but list all this, that, everything else. You're doing just fine. It's just one thing. You'll get over it. You have for other things.
Being a
It'll be fine.
worrywart is part of the job description. It's a
It
requirement
really is.
because it's such
It's
a
just getting
passion
back up
project,
for
right?
it. Yeah. And
Mhm.
if people could see that passion, a lot of people would naturally flock over to you because people love seeing people be passionate about the things that they do. I know the many times I've went to go affiliate with people just because I could see that they really cared about their venue instead of doing it just for a name, for popularity, or just to have something to have. If they actually really just enjoyed just the people that they had there, and I could see that their staff also enjoyed being around them, I'm gonna go for it.
Mhm.
I
I
was about
think
to say too, because like in
your
a venue,
staff
when
feel it,
you
everybody feels it.
yeah, when everybody comes together, you kind of make your own like family kind of. I know it sounds cliche as hell, but you kind of do make your own
You
group of
really do.
friends.
No, that's exactly what it is. You kind of make your own family. It's not even cliche about it. It's just some people actually just say that it is a family, and it kind of does, like your found family.
Especially because like some, I know some venues that have been open for like 2, 3 years, and it's the same people over and over and over. Like,
Mhm.
so you really do just find your own family here online, especially in venues.
Yeah, it's very important to
Not like
go
those raiders that are screaming at you. No,
and
Okay, as a raider that screams at you, you're very correct.
I am too. I am too. No worries.
it's
I
very important. Sorry, go ahead.
the fucking EX1 had me losing my marbles. Stupid bird.
Um, I think it's very important to go in the mindset of, making friends. These are the people you'll spend several hours once a week with, usually. Um, my old venue imploded on itself. It felt very much like a job. Lots of micromanaging of things that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And with this new place we're opening, it was a big focus on. Sorry, I'm sure you can hear my kid in the background.
Oh, you're good.
No, that's okay.
Um, with this new venue, I'm trying to really put the reins in my staff's hands, giving them agency and trusting them that they're gonna make fun and have fun.
Mhm.
I don't think it needs to be as stressful as people make it out to be. When I hired everyone, they had excellent role play examples, wonderful characters and cards, just these great OCs. I'm very excited to put them all in one place and telling them, hey man, make it what you want it to be. I've got the place. I've made the card. I've done all the technical stuff. Now let's come together and kind of, make it what we want it to be.
Also, a quick little thing here. Thank you again, Frost, for letting us, hang out here today to host the podcast and everything. This venue is really lovely, by the way. And for anyone watching now or later, Aorzian Tim Hortons.
Hooters.
Oh god.
Hooters. Here we go.
Tim
I'm
Hortons
trying to get murdered. I'm trying to get
over
murdered.
here on
We're sorry, he's
Anchor.
American. It's Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy's.
Timmy Hoo Hoo.
Timmy Hoo Hoo.
And that's how I got canceled.
Oh god.
Cancel
Also,
speed
thank you
run.
for celebrating Kuba's birthday. Big exciting.
Give him many pats when you see him in venue. He needs some.
Yeah.
How many punches do
too
I owe you?
bad.
How many punches do I owe you?
At least
Punches?
5.
At least 5, yeah.
Plus, what the fuck?
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Aw,
here I
happy
was worried
birthday,
about the
Kuba.
questions getting me in trouble, and it was me trying to promote the venue.
Your own
Jesus.
downfall was your like it was the way you said it.
Oh no.
I'm gonna call it that from now on too. Every time I come back here, Tim Hooters.
I mean, it's a great name. I mean, like, I
It
feel
is,
like there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of potential there with like a theme. You know?
No, the only reason I said Hooters is because, I was talking to somebody from Femboy Hooters that was supposed to come for one of the other episodes, and it just kind of Hooters stuck in my head.
I mean, I'm usually thinking about boobs too, so I
Have
get
y'all
it.
ever seen
Sure,
Himbo?
Hero
You're
now.
so real for
Have y'all
that.
ever seen Himbo Hooters that's run by a bunch of Rothgars?
Yep.
Yes!
You know what? I
I
might
love
need the link to
them.
the card.
It's time for us
They
to
actually have a
go venue
beautiful
hopping.
venue
They
location.
do. It's so pretty. Like they have the large and it's like marble on everywhere. It's so pretty.
It just for no reason, just drop that card somewhere.
Fucking Himbo
That's
Hooters.
disgusting. Where?
Where is
Well, what's
Sign
the
me
address
up.
so I could stay away from it? What's the address so I
Yeah.
could stay away from it?
It's for a friend for sure.
Not that I'm curious whatsoever. Totally.
I don't know. Let's see if Vinny can help me out here. Let's see here.
I was just about to go to the bot.
Oh, Kana, we got one. Himbo Hooters isn't on the thing. Gotta hunt him down.
It was. I went to them last week.
Oh.
Okay, well, there's Femboy Hooters, Femboy with an I Hooters, and Catgirl Hooters.
Yeah, and Femboy
Isn't there a
Hooters.
Catgirl Dave and Buster's that got opened up recently?
Yo, no shit. I'm about to go. Hold on. I want to play skee ball.
Yeah. Fanboy Hooters is on there. Primal.
Himbo Hooters is?
Amazing.
Wait, what?
Himbo, Himbo, Himbo Hooters. It's run by a bunch of
Oh,
Rothgars.
okay, yeah. I've not heard of that one.
There's no way they're not listed. I'm gonna be
Oh.
so sad, but that's not the point of the podcast. But I am sad about
yeah.
it.
So if anybody out there knows Himbo and his venue Himbo Hooters, please reach out to him. Let
Oh wait,
him.
the guy's name is just Himbo.
Yeah, his name is Himbo.
Oh, okay.
I'm so
Yeah, reach out
sad.
to him. Let him know
That
to
kid's
register
fun.
on FFXIV venue so we can go to his venue.
Please and thank you. For a friend, of course.
Yeah, or if you already have it, there is the Discord link if you want to drop the card for us. And we just got way off topic.
I was about to say, where were we?
Hey, but like Himbo Hooters is worth it in my defense.
Yeah.
Well,
Fleshy, when
I
have you
would
ever
never
been
know.
defensible?
No, I'm with Fleshy on this.
Eh,
This was important.
minimal.
It's a pretty fun place if no one's ever been to it.
No,
It's
I've
actually been
there
around for a
pre-Dawn
while.
Trail.
What is it? Like a bunch of Rothgar fanboys?
It's
No,
a bunch
it's just Rothgar in
No.
very tight shorts and a tight tank top.
Yeah,
Yep,
It's incredible.
it is great.
amazing.
Why has nobody opened a freaking goth IHOP? Serve the masses.
I need Tomboy Outback right now.
Who was like asking about owning a venue earlier? Because venue
my
idea for
God.
you, please. We need goth.
I need a
IHOP.
MILF Applebee's,
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
buddy.
Hey.
aka Applebee's.
Do y'all not see my title? Do y'all not see my title?
I love MILFs.
Incredible.
I have to go look.
Flame puppy.
That's not me.
Real.
That is not me.
I do
Oh.
see
I see nothing. My
See
title is
France.
I Heart MILFs.
Amazing.
Good times over here at Tim Hooters.
Yup. Making memories, making friends.
Y'all ever just hoot?
Always.
One of those hootenannies.
You know what? Actually, while we're kind of being silly and setting
Oh,
this all
I figured
fire,
every button.
I have a general question for everybody. What's the big takeaway you've kind of gotten from your experience in venues? Like the big thing you're gonna take into next games or maybe the next year that just something has kind of stuck with you from working in venues after all this time?
Don't
The
let
bar
your
is
first
yours. Make it your own.
Don't let my first impression 8 years ago on Balmung change my impression of what everything is for the rest of my life. First impressions aren't always the best.
This
I've had so much fun.
This podcast brought to you by Balmung.
Yeah.
Which
I-
part of it?
Apparently, every part of it.
I honestly don't remember. where I
Sponsored
was.
by BBG Balmung Bench Girls. Shout out and fucking thank you for the sponsorship. 10 out of 10.
Sponsored by the Gooner Bench.
Oh my god, my
Stop.
friend started going to. And it
The
would just
Goon
send us
Bench?
updates.
Hell yeah.
It would
I
just be
was
like, you'll never
trying to
guess.
put this on a positive note and ask everybody about a wholesome thing, and this man's over here
wholesome,
like
sorry.
Balmung.
Listen.
That's because they have Hooters on their mind.
Yeah.
Real.
Y'all
We
trying to
got
go
a
get
little
burgers? Y'all trying to go get burgers?
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I'm not hungry.
So other than learning about Balmung, what's a positive thing that's been a takeaway from the venue experience?
Know that everybody's different. That not everybody's the same, because I've had multiple people like want to be treated differently, and it's not. And don't be afraid to tell somebody you want to be treated differently.
Are we talking from a venue's owner standpoint or?
Bartender. Because like, come for me, like I've had people tell me like, oh, I like my drinks this specific way, or I want it like this, or I want you to add this and this. Like, don't be afraid to be different, and don't be afraid to tell people to treat you different. Because the more you can interact with your bartender, the funner it is for them.
Yeah, you're gonna learn a new way it was always done every single day.
Yep, exactly.
Gonna have to Google your Moscow mules to not put them in a copper mug someday.
Throw a penny in.
Yeah.
They like
That's
the
the
taste of
new
copper.
thing. We're starting a new thing where you have to throw a penny in your Moscow mules.
I have to suck on the penny first. Can't forget about that.
Get all the grime off of it.
Add a little smooch for extra flavor.
I can tell Plushie kissed this penny.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Yep.
Oh no.
Somebody's like, I always visited for RP but neglected the bartender, and they vow to change their ways.
Honestly, if that's all we get out of this, fantastic. 10 out of 10. Thank you.
Talk to bartenders. They're there for a reason. They're they all have like every bar is going to be like everyone runs their shift a little bit differently from everyone else, so it's always going to be something different.
No bartender's the same. Everybody does it differently.
We're just out here to have a good time and to make sure other people are having a good time.
Yeah, we do it for the fun and the laurels.
Don't be afraid. They only bite if you like it.
If they tip
Also-
extra.
You gotta
you're-
ask nicely. You gotta ask nicely.
If you're new to venues and you're not sure what to do when you go into one, the easiest thing to do is to just go sit at the bar. You'll just fucking blend right in. And bartenders are so aware that like a good third of the people who show up are people who are like, I don't know what else to do right now. So you'll be taken care of.
That's how I started too. As soon as I walked into a venue, I was lost and I was scared of people, so I would just sit at the bar. I'd be like, please ignore me. I don't exist. Just give me my drink and ignore me.
Yeah, bartenders are the gateway to the venue.
Mhm.
I think they're a very important aspect of every venue.
I'm so glad you think so.
Why is that?
Because you pay me. I love that
Oh.
Plushie like laughed as soon as I said that. She knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about.
You're always a fun time, Kuva. I think from
shut
when we
up.
hired you. No, really. I think from when we hired you, you've been a pretty fun aspect of the venue. I think you're pretty personable, quirky, to say the least, and you're not afraid to say what's on your mind.
Quirky is such a fun way to put that.
He's a very quirky person, but you come to love him.
Mm-hmm. I you know, I say things. It was a little bit after everyone left when everyone was done telling their fucking crazy sex stories one night, and I remember. I don't need to give any more context for this than there is already, but I remember I turned to Sylvie and I said, "Do you hear that, cousin? Fucking twin fucker doesn't think we're interesting enough." And it's just you gotta, you gotta bring it.
Oh.
You gotta. Yeah, Plushie knows.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
So it's gotta keep it interesting around here. Not that I'm the only one who does that. I mean, everyone at Twinkle Tiger is pretty fun, but it's fun to just be a little unhinged sometimes.
Oh, what?
Well, speaking of unhinged, I guess we can get into that last controversial question.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, it's like, have any of you guys ever been to a venue before as a guest, of course, and saw that the bar was empty and people wanted drinks? Did you ever just like get behind a bar and just start serving drinks randomly?
That seems out of pocket, unprofessional, and a breach of the business customer contract.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yep, that's why I did it.
I haven't gone to a venue in 4 months, so I can't say anything. I only work mine and
I'll
log
be
right off.
honest. When I first read that question, the only thing that came to mind when we were doing the review for this, there's a guy on YouTube with the fucking Namasu mask who did the seedy underbelly of venues.
Yes.
There was a portion where people were like anonymous out and had like the dark shadow on their faces. And there was a venue that made this person who walked behind the bar to like serve people apologize for because it was like a massive breach of something. And they went through like a whole like 3-4 step process of like walling them in, making a tiny jail, and then like sending managers to talk to them. That's like all I can think of when I see this.
That's fucking hilarious.
I will go find the YouTube video because it's a ride because I'm sitting here and like as somebody in the position who could do that if I felt so particularly spiteful. I look at this and I'm just like, that's insane.
Yeah, plus she could have done that to me, and she didn't, and that's why.
Like, could you imagine putting
I would
somebody
kill
in
for
like
her.
gay baby jail for doing that? For like
Honestly,
standing behind a
that's
bar?
fucking funny to like see someone do something they're not supposed to do. So you look at your staff and you go, "Form the shame cage," and then everyone just fucking collapses in on this person.
Shame cage.
Yo,
Oh
we
my
can run
God.
it back
Yeah,
with that.
no,
We're bringing
serious.
back public shaming. Bring back
Yes!
public
Oh my
shaming.
god.
Seriously, I see nothing but dollar signs with this. This sounds fucking hilarious. Like,
We went from
The
a
only time-
controversial question to actual controversy.
I see nothing controversial. I think this should be done everywhere.
Yeah, fair point.
If I
The only-
if I accidentally broke a rule somewhere and that's what they did, not only would
Found
I
it.
be fucking completely on board with like the fucking insane process that they had to like making me run the fucking apology gauntlet. That's hilarious.
Hang on, I'm gonna put this in
Media content.
podcast chat. Yeah,
would
well,
absolutely
I'll
go
put that
back.
there too. Here's the timestamp. It's very much worth a an unhinged listen. It's such a video. It's such a video.
Alright, that's also available in our Discord for anybody that wants to see whatever unhinged stuff
Plus,
that
she
is.
presents to you
Yeah.
the video.
The only time I've ever considered it is Nimbus actually mentioned this in the chat. I went to a venue one time with them, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the bar and get a drink because, like, you know, as a bartender, I enjoy seeing what other people do. And I couldn't find the person at the bar, and we looked around, and they were on the couch, like NSFW animationing, and I was like, can I get a drink? Like on the other side of the venue. And I was like, interesting choices here. But yeah, I mean, I didn't. I just thought about it because I was like, I was so looking forward to getting a drink because I like going to the bars at these venues.
Hi,
But,
are you the
like-
bartender? Can you pull your fingers out of yourself and do your job?
Yeah. It was with somebody else, and I was like, like I don't want to get too like NSFW because you know Twitch and everything.
Oh,
But
my bad.
well, it's not my Twitch, but I just feel bad for Runa.
We're okay with risking Aruna, but anyway, continue.
Yeah, so basically it was like bar on one side, like this couch on the other, and she was like on the couch, and I was like, and I didn't even. The only reason I knew she was the bartender is it had venue names bartender as her tag.
I'd be like, is this part of the process or like what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm like, do I have to like RP interrupting this to get my drink?
I absolutely would.
RP interrupt.
And just walks over, pulls her hand out, and like, hey,
Ma'am?
/EM raises
Like,
hand.
you
Hello.
wash your hands first before you make my
Wow.
drink. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say first we need the health inspector to come on here. And I need to make sure you got a sink somewhere. And then I would like a drink.
oh man, that'd actually be hilarious. We get like OSHA or something, like one of those groups on here.
CRT and OSHA.
There, I can get you the link for the person
Isha.
who's been running around. Yeah, it literally, if you have a venue and you just want some really silly RP interaction, amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I'm not sure if y'all ever heard of a place called Swanky's. She was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, Swanky's bar.
Yeah, Swanky's.
Yeah, I know Swanky. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that Discord one's a
Oh yeah, but also now for the people out there, we are now taking questions from the viewers. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask about bartending and stuff like that. And also, Kana, you got anything for us this time? Any cool stats?
Not really, no.
All right,
I can
awesome.
give you stats. I can give you stats on like venue types. I can't give you stats on the roles within them. That's not I can't index that.
I'm curious, how many
Mm.
cafes are there out there right now?
Hold on a second. Let's see if I still have this saved in the folder real quick, because I think that was on one of the things from the last episodes.
I'll get that real quick.
Okay, I don't think I have that info anymore. I think I cleared out my... Yeah.
Oh, someone in
Oh,
chat
that's
asked
a
a
really
question.
good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the owner of a venue, how hands off do you want us to be on the bar in general? Where's the line between that and being neglectful? That's a really good question, actually.
Honestly, I think bartenders should, have freedom to do what they want, other than, the owners being like, hey, this is our menu, like specials and stuff like that. But then let the bartender, you know, make their own drinks and stuff like that as well.
Oh, I have a question for you guys. So here, we're all bartenders, right? How many of us actually use macros for our drinks?
None.
I
Okay.
Nope.
I don't have macros, but I have a Google Doc of just like how I would make it, so that way I have like a base that I can just like
Because I have
reference.
macros that I use that I can pull up and show you guys if you want to see it. Like I can pull up my macros for drinks.
So when
I've
I
always hand typed them every single time, even if it's the same thing.
Yeah, because then
so
it'll
when
be a
I
little bit
bart
different every time, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's something to that. It's just like it's one of those, just like it's a different vibe. Like sometimes you just want to see like. I think one of the advantages of using macros is, I mean, like besides the time, I think it's like it would kind of encourage people to try out more drinks because they wouldn't want to see the same thing again, and then they would think to themselves, well, I wonder what other like how like what the writing they have for this thing is or that thing or something like that. So like I can kind of see um like beyond just like a time saving benefit, like I think it would help diversify like what people actually wanted from the menu. Because it would be like, oh well, I want to see how this is made, or oh, I want to see how that is made, and like that sort of thing. I personally have always typed mine. Because I like when it comes out. I like that it comes out a little bit differently every time. Um, and then you can also, depending upon who it is or what's going on, you can kind of like add a couple of things that kind of change it up from there. I don't know. I think there's a lot of merit for both. I personally have always just typed.
I have the Google Doc. I do have like some that are partial macros, like the like liquor maybe drink that we do. I have like the rules are a macro, and then um I change it up, especially because like I, as part of the thing, is like I make people sign a waiver that we're not responsible for illness or death for attempting
Nice.
our game. Um, and it's fun if people have already like done it before, to give them different things like, oh, I lost your, I keep my bit is I keep all our important documents in the safe place, which is my trash can. So like, oh yeah, weird, I lost it. Let me make sure I put this new one in a safe place, and I throw it away. So just like like it's better. It's more fun for that aspect, at least, to like change it up every time I do it. So it's the main reason I don't have like an actual macro and just have like a reference sheet.
Fair. Because I have macros, but that's only because I don't want to like you have. Like I don't want to pull up a Google Doc every time I go into work, or especially like because I have my notes app for keeping track of what I'm selling. And at my venue, Four Fiends, we do a gamba drink, which is unlimited tries. It's 200K per entry, and it kind of like builds the pot every night. Or here, I can give you all the rules. Let me. Where's my? Or I can do the. Where's my stupid shout? Where's my? There it is. I'll
Hey,
do the
don't talk
shout real
about your
quick.
show like that. I'm still
Right.
down for this.
So that's how I advertise bar with that macro. Tired of dancing, gambling, come on down. I have drinks, snacks, all kinds of stuff. The Gamba drink, it starts off at 15 mil every night, but every purchase adds to the jackpot until like we close. So
Okay.
I think the highest I've ever seen it go was like 59 mil. And you have to roll a 444 in order to get the jackpot. But a lot of people, and what people do is, and this is where I come back to very, very early on in the stream. I said that some people just want the rolls and some people don't want items. This is where I come back to this, because I have people trying to get like 20 something mil every night, and then they're like, give me 20 rolls, and they don't want to, and they don't want 20 items. So I'm like, okay, just do the rolls then, and they'll give me the money. Because let me see if I can find the macro for the rules. I have it here somewhere. Rules. Where is it? Oh, I'm so lost. God, I have so much useless stuff. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, where's my other hopper? Just one setting.
Oh wait, did somebody already read this message?
Not the new one, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here I'll pass around. I'll pass around a macro to everybody. That one. And you can read the other question while I pass around the rules.
Okay. As a bartender or venue owner, are there days where you feel that you can improve your immersive RP skills? If so, how would one start to be able to do so?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness, what a good. I would say coming from. So, Tranquil Tiger is a bathhouse slash club mix, right? Where we have somewhat of a serene area in one part, we have a gamba part in another, and then we have the dance floor slash bar. So our venue is pretty like mixed, right? So you have like a best of both worlds in a sense. So I find my RP can sometimes lack in one area than it would in another area. So to improve your RP, I would say really go out there, and I would start with a bartender. Like I said, it's good because they love when people talk to them and you RP, right? And it's a good way to get yourself immersed in RP if you've never done it before. I would not suggest someone doing a court as opposed to like bartender, because like court is like very immersible, and both of you need to bring something to the table in that sense. So I would say like
There's a certain
practicing.
expectation when
Yeah,
you're
there's a
Yeah.
big
gonna go chat
expectation.
up a courtesan.
Yeah, so definitely bartenders would be your best bet for practicing RP.
Yeah, and then also coming as a courtesan, like a lot of people are also there. Just they're trying to do their job talking to you. So most of them also are very can be boring. So do be careful. Like if you want somebody who's just there to have fun, a bartender.
I think like one of the biggest things that people, if they're trying to role play, and they're trying to really make it just that two people can just kind of get absorbed in the sort of story that they're both painting together. The biggest thing that you can do is just throw in a little obscure details that wouldn't be something that people would normally just kind of go to. Talk about
Economy.
yeah, like did you just say the fucking economy?
Yeah.
Talk about like all, like little noises that your character might be reacting to. Talk about like your character like if you realize that like your character like picked up the glass and then held onto the glass for like the entire conversation, a couple lines in mentioned that they like realized that their hand was getting cold because of something. Like come back to details that you didn't. There are so many like open-ended through lines that go into RP that most people just kind of forget about and then just like don't actually tie up with a neat little
Leave
bow
to
at the
die.
end. Yeah,
Like-
like if you say that your character is holding onto a glass, think about like what that's like. Like if it's a hot drink, after a couple of seconds, your character's gonna be like, "Oh, geez, that's uncomfortable. I'm not gonna do that." If it's a cold drink, it might take a little bit longer, and then at one point they'll take their hand off of it, you know, shake it a little bit, and then just kind of continue the conversation. Little things that are natural. Think of just the natural consequences of things that are happening.
Tie your shoelace.
Yeah, like in correlation to the thing earlier about the row farting at the bar, you just be like, you faint from it being stinky, you know?
Like, I know that was like a troll, but also that's just like feels like the kind of thing
Yeah.
that some people would just do as a role play.
Perfect thing with cause and effect. That fart is
Or-
probably going to linger for a little bit. The next
Yeah,
time
yeah.
someone comes up to the bar, open your mouth, say one word, and then gag.
That's also a good
Or-
icebreaker, you know, if you want to go out to somewhere and you don't know how to RP, just go to the bar and fart, see what happens.
Mhm.
Just go with it.
Just think of the dozens of through lines that just kind of get forgotten about with no little. I mean, inconsequentially, it's not like you're a bad RPer if you don't acknowledge that your character's hand would be cold. But think of these little things that you could like add to be just like, oh yeah, that would happen. Right.
A good tip I was told very early on for my RP was use your character's 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, like everything. Use your 5 senses. Incorporate that into your roleplay. Like for me, since we do have DJs play at my venue, I will incorporate like, oh, the ears twitch from the music being a little bit too loud for him, or the bass being a little bit too rough.
I always thought like a good way to really get into RP was just go to venues on Crystal, since it's like the
Good
RP
lord.
capital.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've also got another question from Frenzy over here. How would you better improve accessibility for vanilla and console players to get into bartending or other staff roles?
That's rough because I mean, I'm not sure if it's allowed already, but definitely try to get a really cheap keyboard and just plug it into your console. Is that
Or-
allowed?
Yeah. Or you could just do macros. I would highly suggest macros. You know, just take the time to sit down and type it out beforehand, so you just have them. That's probably
That's
the
been
that's
easiest
where-
way.
That's where macros would be a good idea because like on PC you can just type it out. It's no big deal. You have your keyboard directly in front of you. On console, unless you want to take an hour to type out someone's order, you can like just macro it.
Lily, what were you
Yeah.
trying to say?
A lot of the venues don't want macros, but I know a lot of venue owners will make an exception for you if you're a console player for the macros. People are happy to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually venue owners can be pretty, you know, acceptable for console players. It happens a lot out there from what I've seen.
Yeah, there are a lot of console players running around.
Frost's got a question too.
Oh, what's he saying?
I don't know. He's got a question, but he didn't ask. So what is your question, Frost?
Guys, look, I'm doing the stereotypical nightclub guy. Bees knees AFK.
Oh no, don't bees and knees and AFK. Oh, be that person.
Yeah, this is 2025. You gotta hit the hum.
Got hit Manderville dance, bro. We gotta get crunky.
Gotta pull out the watering can and just stand around and AFK.
Hell
Hop,
yeah.
criminally underrated.
Or also too, a lot of the one that makes a lot of noise too is the shake drink. Fucking you go the shake drink one. Just be in one corner.
Okay, so Frost is like, from its experience in venue a couple times, went to different venues. There's some having some discrimination with French Canadian. I've actually never heard of this. The only discrimination
and watch
I've
your ass.
ever heard of was
No,
like
I'm
the
kidding.
Lala thing.
I think what it is at its core is they're
Racism.
because well, no, I what?
I don't think that. I don't think that qualifies as racism. I think that's
Not quite. Because the NA data centers are just so heavily English speaking, anything outside that bubble just becomes a little bit difficult to bridge. Whether like it truly at its core, it's an imaginary barrier and you can meet in the middle. It's just that it it's just a language minority in the general bubble. I think that's where the difficulty comes from. And I'm really sorry that you've had those negative experiences in venues or things like that. But that's definitely really confusing to see. Like, could you imagine that happening in VR chat, for example? Like everybody's got their own world and their own like little places and things like that, and it's a giant melting pot of languages and all of that. It's just really surprising to see that kind of attitude brought into the XIV venue sphere.
okay,
Yeah, when
but
you ask
also
that question,
just to kind of clarify here for the NA, there are like different data centers and worlds that are like language based. Like if you go over to Primal and Behemoth, that's primarily a Brazilian server or world. And so a lot of the more French related things are on Crystal.
I would hope that no one is being prejudiced towards you in the way that you maybe type in roleplay. Um, if a venue is reacting negatively to the way you're typing, I wouldn't I wouldn't spend my time in there.
Yeah, double down, be
yeah,
more French aggressively.
Yes.
it's
Double
just
down.
interesting to me because like I've seen quite a few places actually that would actively like have French in there for roleplay or not, and I would participate in that. Heck, for one of my other venues, my assistant, me and her speak French to each other all the fucking time. That's why I'm just like, people actually get on you about that?
There's a few venues out there that also speak Spanish. That's where I meant. That's where I am because I'm part Mexican, so I usually hang out the Spanish ones.
Yep. I'm pretty sure those are on Primal, right?
I think one is on Primal, one is on Midgar. I want to say Midgar.
Okay, yeah. Midgar and Primal. Yeah, that makes sense. 'Cause I
A
think
lot of Latins.
because I think Midgar actually has a FC that is purely like Hispanic and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and they run like some venues over there.
Yeah, this game is massive. Like it's just you just had an unlucky experience. This game is absolutely massive. There's millions of people on this game. You will find places that aren't like that to you.
Yeah, if you ever come
More problem for them.
if you ever come across any venue that's like being like that towards you, you should probably just never go to that venue again.
Report them to Kana. They'll kick them off the website.
No, okay, no, she won't. Just to clarify, Kana does. Kana, you want to say anything here?
Kana's merely a spectator. Leave her out of this.
She's just like, look, I just say it's a venue, okay? Fucking make your own moral judgments, goddamn.
Yeah,
Real.
yeah, like you
Yeah,
have to
it's
do
really
something like
disappointing
illegal
that
to be.
experience.
Mhm.
RMT.
Well, yeah, that too, but you know.
I do hope that you find a primarily French speaking community to have to kind of grow with. I really do hope that you find that. I wish it's really surprising, I'll be honest. In all of my time practically living in the venue sphere, I don't think I've personally encountered that yet. And I think it would be really nice to foster that type of growth, especially here on the NA centers. I think it'd be really, really nice to see.
That's pretty surprising just because, you know, the venue space in general is like more or less very welcoming. I've never experienced anything like that or have witnessed it.
Does any of the viewers have any more questions, or does anyone in here have any questions?
I have one question. Why?
Because
Why
it
is the
bothers you.
morning?
I'm
Just
just being
why?
difficult.
'Cause why not?
Just why?
There were problems to cause. I showed up.
I
Real.
just like causing chaos.
We have come to bring the chaos. We have brought chips.
What kind of chips? What kind of chips?
Ooh, that's a hard choice. Right,
Would you
we're-
like to know?
It better not be sour cream.
No, we brought the
What do
Tostitos
you
with some
have
cheese
against
dip. All
sour
right.
Sour
cream?
They're
cream is the
bad.
best. No, you take that back.
But
Don't
with
ever besmirch any
wheat-
sort of strong, pungent flavor if you don't want to incur the wrath of Plushie, because she will defend like everything
I
that you hate.
what
How
you
can you say
phrase
sour
it
cream is
like
bad?
Yeah, don't be judging on no anchovies,
You,
or
you
Plushie's gonna get
phrased it
mad.
really weird, Kuva. What the heck was that all about?
But then again, I also love myself some salt and vinegar. Don't get me for that. Don't get me for that.
Salt and
I
vinegar.
haven't tried
Don't
those
get me
in
for that.
years. I should try them again.
The only time I've ever had a chip I didn't like is I don't know if it's down in America, but I was up in Canada and there was like ketchup chips.
Oh,
Oh.
they
Oh.
are in America. Don't
Don't
worry,
make
and
that
they
sound
are
Okay.
still awful. They
Okay.
still
See,
are
you see
awful.
what I mean? See what I
Why?
I've
mean?
never
Look at
seen
her
them.
go.
Why are you raw? Why are you raw dogging ketchup? Why are you
Oh.
raw dogging
Do
ketchup?
you like fries with ketchup?
No.
That is not what that tastes like. That is
I
not
don't
what
eat
that
fries
tastes
with
That is
ketchup.
what it tastes like. It's very literal. I don't understand. Why are we
Maybe
going
it's a
with one but
brand
not the
thing.
The
other?
flavor I will defend with my life is mint ice cream. Y'all can't. Mint ice cream's so good.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
love mint ice cream when it's not that synthetic shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
exactly. Exactly.
Some of
Good
that
mint ice
thin
cream is
mint.
delicious.
With
Oh.
chocolate chip as well. Oh, it's so good.
Damn, now I want some thin mint ice cream.
Let's
Man.
go. I'll pick you up. We'll hit
I
up a
want myself
fucking.
some
We'll hit
blue.
up a Marble Slab or Bluebell.
Ben and
Plushie wants that
Jerry's.
chubby mint.
What's Bluebell?
Ooh,
Blue
Baskin
Moon?
and Robbins.
Blue Moon. Now that I can drink all day.
No, it's actually ice cream here in the Midwest.
What,
You know what?
Bluebell?
I thought Blue Moon was a beer with that you like put a
Oh.
fucking
It is
orange
a
slice
beer,
into.
but it's
Yeah,
also
that's the
ice
beer.
cream flavor here,
Oh, it's
where I
fucking
am.
wild.
I know this
I'm
is
ready.
like off topic right now, but little bit. I'm bringing up that with you being worried, Wart. I literally am the same way every time my venue's about to open. I forgot to mention that. I know it's like so off topic and we talked about that long ago, but
No, it's
I
real.
I can agree with you. And it's every single open. I'm like, is everything okay? Is everyone okay? Like, what's going
Am I
on?
falling apart? Am I falling apart?
Oh no,
I'm fine.
Are
Please
we
stop
gonna have
bothering me.
fire again? That's what I think. Are we gonna have fire again?
Yep.
That's me
Again?
every night.
Again.
Maybe we should send OSHA to your place so they can make sure most of your
Books are not on
staff
fire?
are
Yes.
equipped with relatively fire
mean-
retardant things like that. You know, the whole
Can they
nine
do
yards.
that?
Apparently,
Can OSHA do
It's
that?
now it's now part of our lore to where all the books are like laced in like a fire resistant spell so they don't burn. I don't know about the rest of the house, but at least the books are fine.
incredible.
Well, speaking of some hot things here, we got another question. Like, being a bartender, have you ever had any experiences with being hit on or requested?
All the time. All
Yes.
the time.
Yeah.
It happens every now and then, mostly with people I know. It's like it's more often like if people like know me and talk to me and they like, it's almost like they think it would be funny if I actually did ERP. Like they actually like want to try to get me to do that.
On the bar.
If it's on the I mean Sylvie's still working on that. But like I have occasionally, and this is only ever back before everyone engaged in things that we don't publicly talk about. But like one of the best lines that I would get is like people would always, they would never just say, "Oh, I think you're cute. Oh, I think this, I think that, or whatever." It would always be something. I'm not usually into Midlanders, but and then they would segue into it, and I'm like, really? That's like okay, that's all right. That's the opener.
No, it's always the
Aw.
but.
Yeah, apparently I'm one of the good ones. I don't know.
That's like
There
one of
should
the
be
most
other
common
staff.
openers too.
Well, Koopa, I like
Compliment.
Midlanders, so don't
Oh,
worry.
thank you.
The line that stuck with me when I got hit on was, "Why aren't you on the menu?" I'm like, "What?"
Aw,
I
that's
think for
cute.
me as a
'Cause you couldn't
bartender,
afford
even
me.
sometimes as a hostess, it's mainly they would look at me and be like, "Oh, you could be like my little pocket pillow. You want to come to my place?" I'm like, "Huh?"
A
No.
pocket pillow.
I love
Some
the
people are
hook.
so bold. Some people are so bold.
I will say that if any of my bartenders in the past have ever wanted to be bought out for a service, they're allowed, and I just fill their spot. If you want to make that money, go ahead.
Real.
Make that bang.
Like if you need to
I
fill a
don't get
slot,
hit
I'll
on,
fill the slot at the bar.
but
We're
I.
both filling slots.
Okay, I can't say I don't get hit on. Like the other staff are like, "Hey," and I'm like, hi."
Not the ew.
No, not the. It's
The
Oh,
I don't
immediate
know how to
"Ooh,
respond to
you."
social interactions.
bro, like, ew.
I'm like, I can talk to people, but when someone starts to flirt with me, I get so flustered. I'm like, I don't know, hi.
I felt that.
Bro, like,
I
ew.
don't get flustered. I actually feed into it. I like it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey. Granted, I mean, I get a lot of um cat boys and bun boys that do,
No way.
but I do no. But I like my auras. I like my auras and Thailanders. So
I
if
would go in
if there's any
for
male res or Thailanders, hello out there.
I need myself a Eslin queen real quick.
I have my bun girl wife. I am perfectly happy. I have my bun girl wife.
If femros walk into the bar, I'm like, eyes immediately. Secondary or like sixth sense for femros.
Stimulus response.
Me with Graha.
About to hit the awooga
You're
and
so
that.
valid.
Graha. Not
Clutchy
catboy,
is
just
so valid.
Graha.
Just Graha. Just Graha. in particular.
Bro,
Ivy is
I-
right
Love
here.
that
What the
shit.
fuck?
Have you played Dantro? Fucking Baja Tia,
Oh, I've
the
gone through
green one.
everything.
Baja Tia.
Ahatia.
Yeah, Baja Tia.
No.
Graha, dear.
God, I love green tea. Leave him alone.
Right, dude. My friend called him Baja Tia, and I have not stopped ever since. He's literally
my-
just Baja Blast Graha.
It took me a second to
He's
realize
one of
what you
the
were talking
male
about. I was
NPC that
like,
make you do a double
Yeah,
take.
you know, okay, now you know what I'm talking about? The fucking Catboy
Yeah.
and Dontrell.
I was like, oh, did I miss a meme? Damn.
Yeah, Baja Tia.
Oh no, Dontrell was a meme itself.
I have a meme of the little. Oh, I can't say anything in the spoilers. I don't know how many people have beat Dontro yet, but I'll post it in media. You'll see it. I'll post it in media.
Yeah, just,
One of my
just be
favorite
sure to
memes.
mark it.
That's right, as a spoiler, right?
Yeah. Just in case.
It's only a spoiler because it has a character in it, but other than that, it's funny. Because the text is completely not what is happening in the scene. I just gotta find the stupid fucking image. All right, I know y'all are gonna hate me for this, right? But I was a cutscene skipper. Anyone else?
Oh,
No.
why?
Could not be. I
Why?
Because I
love
can't
that.
read. If they're
I just-
not if they're not voiced, I can't sit through it.
Okay, hang on. Quick
I wanted to get
pause.
to
Oh
the fishing.
no.
Quick pause. Quick pause. Quick pause. How much did you skip?
Everything.
Oh my god.
So let's.
Oh.
So I want to pause here, right? I want to pause here and put some perspective here. So you don't have the complete story of why Shadowbringers was heart wrenching. You don't understand why we went on the you don't understand why we went on a long walk in Endwalker. You're missing over half the game. I'm so sad. I'm genuinely so sorry for
Wait.
you.
I have a question. Do you raid? Because our
Yes.
raid leader is like, we'll walk into a raid and be like, who is this? And I'll be like, some major character. And I'll be like, did you not watch any cutscenes? And he's like, no.
Yeah,
He's only here to
hate
raid.
that
I walked
WoW
in.
has done this to
Well,
people.
I have a thing though, because my thing, I had the story ruined for me. and I had the story ruined for me, and then I just couldn't continue caring for it. Because when I
Okay,
first,
Skipper.
yeah, right, when I first started FF, I had some friends get me into it. They told me it's all about rating and this and that. So I was kind of speed running through ARR, and I was doing my ways. And then they told me I think I hit Shadowbringers, and they were like, "Hey, if you could hit max level by this weekend, you can join a raid." So I went through the process of just straight power leveling my way through it. And then the weekend came. They're like, "Oh, sorry, we have static. We're already full. We can't add you in." I was like, "What the fuck? I just wasted my time." Fucking so
They
that ruined the
removed
game for me.
Shadowbringers for you.
Yeah, so they ruined the game for me, and I was like, "Damn, man! Like I could have." And then I was
They
like,
took
"I don't
all
fucking
the
care anymore."
emotional pow out of the most gut-wrenching fucking
I mean,
expansion. That's so awful. I'm so sorry.
And then
you're
never,
right, I guess.
and then
And
after
well, yeah.
after that, I took a break. I took a break for like 2 years. Came back, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do RP. We're gonna see what it's like. I don't care if I get called a loser." And then I just got super into it. That's why I got into venues and stuff. And then that's how I got back into the game and actually started caring about the game. Because like after that, after the story was ruined for me, I just kind of went along with it, hating every bit of it. Every time there was a cutscene, I was like, "Oh, skip!" Like I just could not stand it.
I'm so sorry that's your experience with this game.
Yeah, the only time I can condone skipping cutscenes for MSQ is in Dawn Trail for the first half. After that, and then
I liked
7.1.
it.
No, it was awful.
It bothers me so much that the second half is what everyone likes. That I'm not gonna get into it, but
I mean, like everyone has their favorites, but
yeah, but your favorites are wrong.
Yeah.
I like the first half. I mean, okay,
I like
again,
the entirety of it. Wasn't my favorite, but I'm not
yeah,
saying I'm hating it.
yeah. I've been playing this game for so long that if I wasn't invested in the story, I don't think I would still be here, to be honest.
No,
Just
I've
like
been
I
here
just
since A
don't
Realm Reborn.
understand
I've
why
seen the
people
best and the
don't.
worst of the
yeah,
storytelling, but Dawn Trail's first half and then 7.1 was just so bad. Like, you can't even
I
say
mean,
that
See,
Stormblood was the worst expansion anymore.
I like Dontrell more than I like ARR, but that's
same.
only because I have personal beef with Minfilia. Fuck her and her Waking Sands. Oh my god.
Yeah, especially if you've been around for a long time and was there for, like, before A Realm Reborn got cut short. It used to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I
Bro.
was there before it got cut.
Her and her Waking Sands, I had to go back like 18 times. I was like, go do this, come back to the Waking Sands. Go do this, come back to the Waking. Leave me alone!
Now there's
But they
tickets
give
that they
you
need.
the little
Dude, I
tickets.
didn't even realize we had tickets. Oh my god, I didn't realize we
Yeah,
had tickets
but
till after I was
before
cleaning out my inventory.
this was not a thing all the time.
Yeah,
They added that recently, and you
I
used to have
didn't.
to walk from the horizon all the way to the Waking Sands.
That's what I did. That's why I hated it. I had to walk.
Yep.
I was the one walking. I didn't realize there was tickets until like I was in Shadowbringers clearing out my inventory because I was full. I was like, what are these tickets? And then I used it and it took me to the Waking Sands and I wanted to just die immediately. Because oh my god, I hated that quest line.
I think it also depends a little bit on like I like the cozy side of Final Fantasy. Like when they introduced the island expansion, that was my favorite thing. So that's like the main reason I really like the beginning of Dawn Trails. It just wasn't end of the world, which was nice
Yeah,
for
I was
once.
about to say, like, you come in, it's a brand new place, the world isn't ending yet. Like,
Yeah, like it was like a little relaxing break, and that's why I liked Dawn Trail in the beginning.
I don't know, that was the whole reason I didn't like it, since, ever since A Realm Reborn, it's just been, like, at your throat, like, constant craziness going on, and then Dawn Trail comes along, and I'm like, well, where'd all the craziness go? Like, there's gotta be something, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, come on. And it just never
I'll
did.
say it. Post ARR was good. Everyone hates it because
one-
they're like, oh, ARR didn't like. There were a lot of quests. Well, if we're just talking about like the story and not the because I've always that's always been one thing that's kind of bothered me because I can't remember. I don't think there's a single expansion that doesn't have like a weird quest bloat in it. At least at some point, where you're like, I feel like there's a long time where we just haven't done anything. And I think the fucking Ul'dan like political fucking sabotage stuff that was going on was one of the more interesting and grounded things. Because like if it gets too crazy, there's a part of me that's just like, all right, I feel like I'm just kind of watching some wild anime right now. But like it felt like with the stuff between the people in the syndicate and all that, like it just felt really grounded in a way that like all this crazy shit was happening. Like it felt like it was something that could actually happen. And I remember honestly that was like one of my peak investments for the story, and it was like right at the beginning for me. Lolarito was the best character, by the way.
Oh
Uh,
my god.
I'm excited
I'm
for
also
like 7.2 though.
I'm a
Man,
very
I
depleted
kid you
story.
not, because I skipped story. There's one time I came across the fucking Hersheyfont quote. Everybody knows it. His famous one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I had set it as my status. And my girlfriend was like, "Do you hate me?" I'm like, "What the fuck? Why?" She's like, "Do you know who you're quoting?" I'm like, "No, I got off of a fucking TikTok. What are you talking about?" She's like, "That's what Hersheyfont says." I'm like, "What the fuck? Since when?" So I had to Google the fucking quote, and I was like, "Yeah, Hersheyfont says this." I'm like, "What?" That's how much story I skipped, because
I
that's how far
really
I was pushed.
genuinely hope that
How
someday you
dare
go
you?
through and experience the heavy story driven MMO. I really hope you experience the story of it at some point.
That sounded like it hurt you to say, Fleshy.
It everything about this is intensely sad. I don't take joy in any part of this. Imagine not be like this person is deprived of
This
half of what
person.
makes XIV different from WoW, and the special parts of this game and the heartbreak and all of that and all of the story elements. It genuinely, to the bottom of my heart, like it breaks my fucking heart to know that people haven't experienced it or they've had things just outright ruined for them and things along those lines. You only get to experience this game one time as a sprout. And if somebody rips that away from you, think about how much you're missing, how much context you would have missed if you went through the game without understanding why you were there or what XYZ. Like imagine if you pulled out the Y, you're just going X to Z, you know? Let me kind of back up for a minute for those of us that have done Dawn Trail. This would be going into Vanguard, skipping the entire reason you're there, just showing up at the gate and then just showing up in city. Or just showing up to like the wastelands and all of that. Like that would be the jump. You're just teleporting yourself from place to place and you don't have that thorough thread. And like for me, that's what ejected me from the very early stages of WoW because there really wasn't any of that for me. Not in the same way that is so heavily provided and incredibly driven in Final
Oh,
Fantasy. So it just makes me sad.
oh
Yeah,
shit.
the way you describe it, where you're kind of just like
I'm
teleporting from
so
place to place.
sad for you.
That's what my story was. After it got
Yeah.
ruined for me, I stopped caring, and I was like, "Oh, new location, don't care. New location, don't care. Wipe this dungeon. Next dungeon, come on, let's go. Oh no, a boss, don't
It just
care. Wipe it."
Oh,
it robs you of the ability to stop and really think about whatever the fuck just happened. Like you've had so much robbed from you, and that is so incredibly sad to me.
uh, I,
Yeah,
I know this is like a sad moment and stuff, but I have to take a moment to thank Frost real quick.
yeah.
He just yeah. Otherwise, I feel like I'd be rude to him because he just subscribed and then he gifted 5 tier 1 subs to people in the stream. So thank you a
Hell
lot.
yeah, Frost.
Aw.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting the podcast.
Gaming.
Aw,
It says
thank
very much
you.
appreciated.
He spent his Timmy's money on you. You better appreciate it.
I know.
Give up some coffee for you.
But yeah, I guess the best way to explain my story experience was like, go here, do this, go there, do this, go here, do this, go there, do this. I didn't pay attention to anything.
Yeah.
It was just go here, do this, press my buttons because they're light
Are you
up.
just trolling Plushy at this point?
No, I'm being so
No,
deadass.
it's real.
I don't give a
I've
fuck
heard
about
this
story.
before.
Yeah,
Genuinely
this
don't
is
care about
a
story.
repeatable story that happens over and over, and I'm like, it sucks.
Imagine going on the boat ride in Dawn Trail and not understanding the like double weight of people's words, like little things like that, and a lot of little references you're not gonna get, like, oh,
Yeah, my partner was forced to skip
Oh.
through a lot of it to get caught up to their friend at the time. And
Yep.
now every time I'm like, oh my god, Harshafont, and my partner's like, I didn't really get it. I'm
Uh,
like,
I
how?
didn't get it.
Yeah, that's how me and my girlfriend are. She's like, "Oh, Harshafon." I'm like, I guess."
I mean, if you don't get the hot chocolate scene, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
I think the story is the
So
only reason I stay like hooked to the game.
I stay
Get
for
me
the raids
Same.
because I get to sweat my ass off.
like
I'm
ironically,
bad at rating.
I have almost 20,000 hours in this game, and the only reason I stay is for the
What?
RP scene and the story.
I
What
got
the
2K. I got 2K clocked right now.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to check mine.
Well, yeah, because 18,000 of those would be story.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez, on my main? Oh, God, I don't even remember how many hours I have.
oh my god, I haven't hit a year?
Um,
Okay, I guess
Oh, I'm
I've got
still in
it
my
turned
first
off on
year.
my
All
thing.
right. Well, never
Fake
I
mind.
love,
venue
how, I
owner.
love how everybody went to go check their time in game.
Yeah,
Mine's not that much.
mine's not showing up.
Nope,
I think I
that's
have
not what I
mine
wanted.
disabled for the system message. But I know I've got 10,000 plus hours on Steam, and then that's only
What
in
is
the
it?
last.
/playtime?
Yeah, that's only in like the last couple of years, not to mention all of the years beforehand on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
Believe it or not, I started on PS4 and then moved over to PC because I hated the controls.
I love
I don't
controller.
have a whole lot because I didn't really play much outside of coming on and doing the story and then like logging off until just recently. But I'm at about 6,120 hours. Don't ask me how much money I spent on this game though. I did the math once and it's a little over 1,000.
I felt that.
Okay, hold on.
I love
Can I
paying
get my money
rent.
back?
If you refund your Final Fantasy subscriptions, you could probably pay rent.
Let's see, let me put it over
Probably.
in the what is this under? Is it like
I mean, Sage Frost. Sage is the best class.
Sage is the best class. I agree.
Oh,
It's
back
alright.
at when EX1 first came out, I was I think in the top 500 for Sage. I was balling.
I spend most of my
Nice,
time
nice.
crafting. Like I don't do dungeons and I don't do dailies anymore unless it's like for story. I really like to craft and do housing stuff.
Good lord, I could never craft. I feel like anytime I start crafting, my brain just dissolves.
Oh, it's so
oh,
fun.
okay. I don't know what it's under.
Okay, how did you all learn Sage? Did you learn it by name? I learned it by pictures because I'm a 3-year-old. I learned it by, ooh, this picture does this.
I did a lot of practicing, but I did Savage to kind of like get it.
I learned it by pictures. I'm like, okay, this picture is bubble. This bubble is heal and damage reduction. That's how I learned Sage.
I set up my hotbar so I have everything in sections. So like this will be my heals, this will be my shields. Not for
Oh,
shields, but for
I do
everything
the
else.
same.
And then I just fuck around and find out until they start sticking.
Okay, so I finally figured out my playtime thing. Does it only count for the system that you're on right now?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah, you're on,
my
yeah.
PC is saying like 10,632 hours. I'm like, no, that's only how much I've got clocked on Steam.
FRU?
No, I'll hop on the PlayStation 4 later, see if it'll give me a time on there too, so I can just smash the two together.
Hold up, what's FRU? Congrats on
Future
FRU.
Futures
Rewritten.
yeah.
Huh?
Futures
The ultimate.
Unwritten.
Unwritten. Rewritten.
Oh, Frost. Oh, what you see right now is.
Is it Fru or Fur?
Hold on.
It's
True.
true. It's Futures Rewritten Ultimate.
How's that what it's called?
Yeah.
I thought you were a raider.
Well, I haven't raided in forever, but I do raid.
I need to get to reading. Actually, maybe I should go to PF today. Do I want to cry? Maybe. Let's see.
I gave
I'm
up.
Nothing I
get
love
my
more
dead
than to
body
cry
dragged
on a
across the finish
Saturday.
line.
It's time to cry on the Saturday.
Yeah, I think this would be a good place for us to end here, I think.
Yeah, we covered all of the questions. Got some questions from the community as well to go over a few of their
Trying
questions.
to get my playtime real quick. I logged into my character so I can get it. But
Well,
of course, there's a queue because it's fairy.
well, here's mine for the PC version, and this is over the span of the last 2.5, 3 years, maybe 4. I don't know. Whenever it was that I got a PC.
Mine is 453 days. That's like pretty decent.
I don't know, man. Some raids give me aneurysms. Some mechanics just hurt my brain until I do it. Because I'm a very hands-on learner. So I can watch the guide 18 times and still not understand anything until I actually do it.
I don't know.
Anyone else?
Usually my raid friends love me because I can sit down and watch a tutorial video of a fight one time, and I know the entire fight.
I can't. I have to do it manually. I have to like learn it by doing it. I can't.
I'm with Ukio on this one. I have to do it. I have to like bash my head against it enough times.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta fail to succeed. You gotta fail to succeed.
I agree 100%. I can't watch videos and be like, yeah, I know what to do.
Oh, DJ Purple Heart, for the whole playtime thing, you played on other console, like the consoles and stuff other than the PC, you'd have to do the playtime there as well and add the times together. Because this game doesn't tell you how long your account has been there, just how long
See,
you've
I
been
might-
on that console.
I might
It's
be in
like
the
a
minority,
casino.
but this is my only character. I know everybody in this game has alts, but this is my only character.
Oh yeah, this is my only character as well, but well, this is my main.
Yeah, I have like alts, but I don't have anything above level 30. But
Okay.
back when you couldn't like world travel, you'd have to make alts on different
Yeah,
worlds.
you were forced to, right? Because you couldn't
Oh.
like data center transfer.
Yeah, so I have a lot of alts on a lot of different worlds, but I don't use.
You can also do that for housing. I have a friend who does that because she does housing, like she'll furnish people's houses, but in order to furnish somebody's house, you have to be on the same
You
world
have
as
to
them.
have an alt on the world.
Yep.
3 outs for raiding?
Yeah, it's good practice. I mean, if you clear in one, or like if you don't want to clear on your one character and want to practice, then yeah, it would be like, you would use your alt to kind of do that.
Yeah, most of the time these days you'd see alts used for like housing and then weddings and stuff like that. But there are people that will have alts for raiding.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, now I'm in panic mode.
All right. We'll wrap everything up. So thanks everybody for joining us this evening for our little podcast for going over Bartenders. If you enjoyed it, please sure to drop a follow to keep up with us whenever we do these every Saturday at 3 p.m. EST. You can also join our Discord for all the other kind of information, see what venues are coming for the next episodes, and all of that good stuff.
Don't forget to tip your bartenders.
Yes,
Tip your
Mhm.
bartenders, people.
And if anyone wants to come bother Kuva, he's working tonight at 8 o'clock.
That's me.
And wish him a happy birthday and give him many pats when you do so.
Yes, come and
I
wish
swear
him
to
happy
God.
birthdays and send dotes and throw stuff at him and love him and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Have some cheese.
We will be there.
an absolutely lovely time.
Knock him out with some fun bags. Woo woo.
Sorry.
I mean,
Or go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry. Lorelai and I will be working Cardinal House at 8 p.m. MST tonight. If anyone wants a drink from Lorelai.
I got the day off. I'm doing D&D tonight. I got the day off.
Yeah, so be sure to
I
go out there
appreciate
and
you all coming in and being a part of this and really speaking to your individual experiences. Like, it's just really fascinating to hear everybody's take on what their experience has been, what they would want to see out of venues and everything. So I just want to say that I appreciate everybody for being here.
Thanks for allowing me to join. I'm excited. It's my first podcast, and I had a lot of fun.
I mean, I'm surprised they let me in here, but
Shit, I'm surprised I made it this far.
But it was an amazing time, though, that's for sure. Also, thanks, DJ Purple Heart, for joining us for a bit as well. And since it was your first one, you can always go back and watch the other ones here on the Twitch or on the YouTube channel if you're interested. But do appreciate that, and I hope that everybody will tune in for the next episode next week, which will be
You can hear him looking it up in the background just for
hush.
clarity.
Don't out me like that.
Like, what's the next day?
Yeah,
Damn, I just got an ad. No way, I just got an ad.
Next week.
Next time it's gonna be
Next week.
waiters, waitresses, maid, and butlers.
Amazing. I'm dressed up as a butler. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so next week we'll be able to hear from more of the safer work side of the scene and everything.
Oh, this is cleared fruit. Wait, what the fuck? Oh.
All right,
Please,
but
mansion.
bye everybody.
Goodbye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.